Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of I Was Thinking. I'm Simone.
And I'm Briana.
And yeah, I already said welcome back to another episode. I gotta get better at my introductions. I never know what to say.
Gotta come up with like a catchy jingle or something.
Something, I don't know. But yeah, we're back. And if you didn't read the title, this episode is basically a BTS lockdown. So if you're not ready for it, you might as well stop it now. But yes,
we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Of BTS in LA that I mentioned we would record. Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be a part one because I couldn't get all four of us together. And by four of us, I mean Briana and my friends that I went to. So hopefully when they get a chance, I can record again and we can talk about our whole trip in LA. Because I went to day 3 and 4 and Brianna only went to day 4. So today we're only going to talk about day 4. And if I remember some stuff from day 3, I'll sprinkle that in there. And I mean, other stuff too, because we both went through the traumatic ticketing process.
Yes.
And like the announcement and all that. But yeah. So real quick before we get started, this is the first time we're recording an episode of just the two of us. How does it feel? Without Macy or the fees.
That is very true. Very true.
And I don't know if we ever talked about how we met each other. I mean, it's not exciting, but...
No, we haven't actually. Was it? Oh, wait. Yeah, it's really not. I had to think back. I was like, wait.
You remember?
I do. It was the Korean festival in Orlando, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Nafis saw you.
Yes.
And then like all of a sudden I was talking to Nafis and she turns around. She just starts squealing. I was like, what the hell? Oh, yeah. I also need to put a pre-warning because we are talking about BTS. I might get a little excited to where like I might start cussing a lot. I usually hold myself back, but I just need...
Let it out. It's okay.
Yes. I just need to let it out. Sometimes when I get too excited. So there's that. But yeah, anyway. And then I was like, okay, who is she squealing at? I'm like, oh, some friend I guess she knows.
Yep.
And like we started talking about like how we're into BTS, K-pop. You gave me your phone number, but like in the back of my head, I was kind of like, I'm probably never going to see or speak to this girl ever again, but that's cool.
Never say never.
I see that, right? And then like a couple months later, I did actually see you again when we both went to Eric Nam, but like I'm so shy, I didn't go up to you because I didn't think you would have remembered me, and like because I was actually pretty close to where you were standing, and I was just kind of hit off to the corner.
Wow.
So I know you guys were up front, and like I was kind of up front too, but I was kind of off on the left-hand side, the way the venue was.
Gotcha.
And then I saw you like go take your picture with him because we both had VIP. So
we were yelling big titties at Eric. That was a day. That was such a great day. You didn't hear that? Girl, that went viral.
Okay.
We were that group like towards the front that were like big titties. And he was like, y'all, I'm on my best behavior. And then he started explaining what it meant. That was us.
Oh, I don't remember that. I just remembered since it was around Valentine's Day, there was a girl next to me that had a poster that asked him, would he be her Valentine? He saw it and he said yes. And I was a little afraid. I thought she was going to pass out, but like she just started crying. I was like, I'm happy for you, girl. Please don't pass out.
Eric has that effect.
So yeah. And then when we started to try to study for Korean, Nafis was like, oh, I know Brianna wants to study. It's okay if I invite her. And I was like, sure. So then it was just me, you, her, and Sam.
Yeah.
And then
here we are.
Yeah. Here we are with the podcast when I asked you if anyone wanted to join me.
I'm not going to lie. I listen to all the episodes that I'm not on because I hate the sound of my voice.
Oh, girl, same. And I have to edit now. And I still do this.
I don't know how you do it. I don't
know how I do it either.
I couldn't do it. I'd be like, oh my God, why do I sound like such a freaking nerd?
When I edit enough times, I kind of like zone myself out and pretend I'm a different person. But when I hear myself talk and the things I say, I know it's me because I'm always like, why are you so awkward, Simone?
Yep. Same.
So awkward.
It was the worst doing Zoom with my students last year and having to record myself and then listen back to it. I was like, oh my God, this is so bad. This is so bad. Oh,
yeah.
Goodness.
So let's not waste too much time. So let's go ahead and get into it because I know at least for the bad, Brianna, that's a lot to say. She is ready.
I'm ready.
So where should we begin? Let's talk about like the traumatic announcement.
Okay.
The concert.
Well, that was what, actually, it's coming around to a full year since that announcement, right? Wasn't it in December? Or am I losing it?
Didn't they? I think you're losing it.
Okay, I'm losing it. I don't remember anything, apparently. I don't remember that. I think I blanked. Oh. Was it not? Am I literally? When was the announcement made?
Wasn't it made in September?
Of this,
because the ticketing process was in October, and they gave us 2 or 3 weeks.
I know what I'm remembering. I'm remembering the Map of the Soul announcement. Oh, that's what I'm remembering. Okay, sorry.
Oh, yes, I forgot.
I'm almost 30.
I'm talking about Permission to Dance. I'm not talking about Map of the Soul. Do you want to go all the way back?
I'm almost 30. I went way back. I was like, that's how traumatized I was for that one too. And then which trauma experience? Yes,
but see, that one for me wasn't that bad. I was actually able to get decent seats,
but I still had anxiety.
Yeah, no, same. It was a little bit easier.
Yes,
I got decent seats, and then me and Macy at the time before a whole bunch of inflation and the pandemic were able to buy resale tickets for floor, so we were set.
Yep. I was so ready. So yes, and then that's why immediate trauma brought me back to that. But this one,
okay. So when I said trauma, you went all the way back to 2020.
Yep, I went all the way. For this one, I remember when the announcement came and I was like, I'm going. It was an immediate, whoop. I got my BTS stimulus for Map of the Soul.
Yes, because they did just give us the full refund back.
They knew what they were doing.
That.
They knew what they were doing. They knew exactly. They were like, what are they going to spend this money on? They don't need anything else. Here we are. So yeah.
Food or rent?
Oh yeah, right?
None
Immediately
of that.
I'm going. And then I second guessed myself, should I? Because, I'm going to have to miss school. But I was like, bruh, I'm going. I'll fly to LA. I'll make it a vacay, whatever.
Right.
But the day I had so much anxiety. I literally left school on time, which never happens. 3:30, I was in the queue 20 minutes before the queue opened. And I was shaking. I was so nervous. I was like, am I going to get tickets? And I think, again, I was still flashing back to Map of the Soul. And
so how hard was it to get tickets for you for Map of the Soul? Because you had 4, you said, right?
So,
did you get free sale for
no, that was day
right away?
One, the day they went on. So here's why Map of the Soul was traumatizing. Again, I'm a teacher. We have a K-pop club, and science fair was occurring. I had to go help set up for science fair that same evening. Tickets went on sale. So it was if I don't get these tickets before, I think it was the end of school. So 3:30, it's I'm screwed. There's no way I'm going to get tickets. And Ticketmaster or Big Hit, one of them had, or maybe it was just me seeing a tweet and just panicking. And my students also talked about it. They put out a tweet saying, if more than one person is on the same Wi-Fi on Ticketmaster, you're all going to get kicked off. And I was
I think that was Ticketmaster.
Yes.
I remembered that.
And I was like, oh, Lord, because here I am at a school with at least 4 or 5 students who also, and this was for Orlando. So, a lot of them were able to go. A lot of them had gotten, I think, maybe their parents' permission to buy tickets or whatever. So I was like, I have to buy these at school. There's no other choice. And if anybody at school is also trying to buy tickets, we're going to be in trouble.
I remember that being a huge uproar because other people were saying same thing. They're like, I might not have Wi-Fi at home. What if I'm at a public library and there's other people buying these tickets? What if I'm at school? The times these are going on sale. I'm still in school. So if I'm on my phone and 1,000 other people are on the same Wi-Fi, how is that fair?
Yeah. And so all of that was just raging inside me of oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So once I got in the queue, we were all in the group chat blowing it up, oh my God, I have this many people in front of me. And I want to say I don't even remember now I'm blanking. I know I had a small number in front of me to the point where I was like, what? Okay. And then I'm telling you, God was like, you're going to this concert, because literally as soon as the queue opened, it was you have 100 people. And I said, what? And then it was 70, then 4. And then it opened and I blanked. I was just floor. I immediately clicked on the first floor seat I saw. And you know how you click on one and it's sorry, already taken. I was damn it. So I clicked on another one and it went through and I was yay. And I had 10 minutes left before I had to leave. And I was wow. And then the group chat's what? You got it? I'm still with there's 1,000, 2,000 people. It only took me 45 minutes.
See, even I wasn't that lucky because I got in early too, but like when I got in, all the floor was gone. And I think I also was at my school because I was going to college around the time that the tickets were on sale. So I used the public library because that's what I use. I think that's what I use for we use that also for the Speak Yourself. I was at the library and using their Wi-Fi. So I was able to get in a lot quicker, like on their actual computer besides like my laptop at the time. And I had a different laptop, so it was a lot slower. But like the closest I could get was like the 100s, which was still really good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So I wasn't complaining. And like I said, at the time, people were reselling tickets at a decent price.
Thank you.
So like, that's why Macy was always complaining about her credit card because, she bought resale on her credit card. And at that time, I was supposed to pay her back. When they did give out the refunds, it went back to her card. I was like, Macy, you know, the pandemic hit. I haven't had a job a full year. You keep all that money because I haven't been able to pay you back. So, yeah, it was.
So that, comparatively speaking, Map of the Soul was so much easier. It was just the anxiety of course, that Ticketmaster tweet. All my students were like, oh my God, we want to go. It was just a lot, you know, and then knowing I also in like 30 minutes after tickets went on sale, I needed to be at a mall to help set up science fair. It was just like, I need to go. So when I got them, super relieved, super happy. I got floor to a BTS concert. I mean, it was great. And then, of course, you know, the world ended.
So. Where did you sit for MetLife? Because we both actually went to MetLife as well before we knew each other. We mentioned that when we met each other. But
so if you're looking directly at the stage, like with the stage coming out at you, we were to the left. There was floor, and then there was that section right above floor. We were right there. So if they went out to the middle stage, we were looking at their backs. So we had pretty good seats. I mean, we could still see their faces, see them running around. It was great. But we were facing them in the back when they were doing all the big stuff in the middle.
And did you go both days or just one day?
I just went the first day. Day one of MetLife.
I went both days. And day one, we had the 100 seats where we were like facing them directly. We're a little bit higher in that, but we still could see them pretty well. And then day two, I also bought resale tickets. I was also panicking about that because I got them through StubHub. And at the time, you could print your tickets. So I was in the line. My heart felt like it was coming out of my chest. Like, I hope, like, please don't be, you know, scam tickets. And she scanned them. And she gave me the wristband. And like, I feel like I was able to breathe. So I don't think I was breathing for like that, maybe hour or two that we waited in line. I was like, okay, we're here. And so like, I was on the floor closer to the mini stage. I did have to kind of turn to see them, and you could see like the side of them. Also didn't help. There was a freakishly tall dude like right next to us. I was like, I am short. But it was fine. I still got some pretty decent videos, especially where they're on the main stage. I still had fun.
It was a good time. I mean, you can't not have fun. They're just great concerts.
Once the concerts start, you like forget the whole world.
Of course.
We'll talk about that more.
That's good. We'll talk about that during the Permission to Dance one because there was a lot to forget. So for this concert, I went home. I turned my computer on, and that I was panicking too because my computer is not the greatest. It's really slow. So I sat here, and then the queue opened, and you know, of course, again, I had a group chat with y'all, and then some of my students were messaging me like, "Oh my God, how's it going?" Blah blah blah. And
because before you mentioned too, because that's another thing about this ticketing process. So they had 4 days of pre-sales, and they were supposed to have a general sale. So the one that me and you got into was the past ticketing holders for Map of the Soul. They had one.
They had Army. Was this?
Yes.
Like Army membership sale kind of thing.
Yes, because I also was able to get in that one because I registered like almost last minute. I was like, you know what? I might not get it, but let me just register. Just in case I do have the membership. I was happy I renewed it. They had Ticketmaster itself verified. And I thought they had one more pre-sale, but maybe it was just
it was Army, Ticketmaster verified us, and then General.
There was VIP Map of the Soul holders. So if you had Soundcheck, regular Map of the Soul holders. Army,
and then General.
And then General.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the fourth one I was missing. And then the never existing General sale. So me and you, when we were buying them at the same time, got just the General, because none of us had sound check.
Yeah.
And like, I remember when the VIP one was going on, that I was looking through Twitter and then looked like they basically opened up everything.
Yes. Which is something back to Speak Yourself, not Speak Yourself, Map of the Soul. Ticket, I don't know what changed between, and maybe it's just because how late I got into the queue. What changed between Map of the Soul and Permission to Dance? Like, for Map of the Soul, I felt like Ticketmaster handled it so well to where everybody had the opportunity to get to floor. But I think by the time we got in, floor had pretty much been sold out. Like, they didn't save tickets for every day. That's why General ended up not getting any tickets, because they didn't do what they did the first time and say, okay, here's a certain amount held for this day, certain amount held for this day, certain amount, you know?
But they did, though, and didn't tell anyone.
Oh.
Keep going with your story, because I'll tell you towards the end.
See, that's how I... Well,
girl, they did too. Like, even the last day they did that, because yes, because I was every time I text you, I was checking Ticketmaster every day, and then on that was another complaint for, like, they held a lot of the floor seats for the Army pre-sale, because when we went in, immediately we got a notification saying, like, there's no more floor, like, sound check tickets. So, like, at least when I got in, which was like 2 hours later after, like, waiting, all I had was, like, the 500 sections. And even that was messing up, because I had 2 windows open for December 2nd and December 1st. I registered for December 2nd, but for some reason it wouldn't let me buy tickets for December 2nd. So I exited out of that one and went back to the queue that I was in December 1st. Even though I registered for December 2nd, it let me buy tickets for December 1st. So that was kind of weird, because they said you wouldn't be able to buy any other day.
Right.
Except for the one you registered for. I'm like, whatever, that's fine. And then I got something. I texted my friends, told them the price. No, I take that back. It's the other way around. That's why he said it's the other way around, because when I texted Precious, I told her the price and it wasn't that much. It was only, like, with the tax, $90-something, and it was for December 2nd.
Okay.
It wouldn't let me go for December 1st. So then when I got the notification afterwards, like an hour later, that I got the Army pre-sale, I was like, okay, well, do you guys want to go 2 days? I can try to get them for December 1st.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, that's fine. So, like, same thing happened with my anxiety, because I was at home on my laptop, and like, I just don't have the best luck. I'm just going to say that now. For some reason, every time I'm trying to buy tickets, I just don't have the best luck. I was in the queue for buying, but it was going a lot faster than it was for the first day.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, this is already sketchy enough. And then I'm on Twitter because I'm bored. Like, it's going so slow. It's like, okay, 1,000 something. And then I see, like, they opened up the floor. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Isn't that when I think you messaged me that, didn't you?
I think I texted you. I was like, Briana, you're going to be so pissed because everything is opened up. They really screwed up. Not just like General, Map of the Soul, past, ticket holders, because they basically gave us like, it was bad. And then, because that was the day I was able to get the 200 section.
Gotcha.
Was when I had the Army pre-sale. And then for the past Map of the Soul ticket holder, I got, nosebleed.
Right.
So
it was just like, I don't know, waiting in that line again. Because even for Speak Yourself, I think I bought Speak Yourself tickets like 3 weeks before we were supposed to go. And they were verified. Like, BTS was still big, but they hadn't reached obviously this level yet because there was no pandemic. And I was able to go in and literally click on 2 tickets, and it was perfectly fine. Not resale, being sold by Ticketmaster, easy. Map of the Soul, obviously easier compared to Permission to Dance. I waited in line, let's say, I don't even remember what time. Do you remember what time? Was it 6 that tickets went on sale?
I think it was 6 our time, because they were going off of Pacific Standard Time. Right. So it was like 3 o'clock over there, 6 o'clock our time.
So I get in the queue at about 5:45 because I knew they weren't letting anybody in anyway. And I just kept refreshing, like refresh until, they opened up the line. And then immediately it was like 2,000 plus people had to be, which again, expected. But there was like, it had moved. And just like you, I had a tab open for December 1st and then December 2nd. I was like, whichever one I get in, And there was a period of about an hour to 45 minutes to an hour where the line moved.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Not at all. I think it crashed.
Yes. And I remember going on Twitter. I was so afraid because I think one of the tabs was on my phone because I was like, if I have 2 tabs open on Ticketmaster on my computer, they're going to kick me out. And I went on to Twitter and everyone's like, so has the line not moved for like 45 minutes? I was like, okay, good. It's not just me.
Yeah. Because this is also when they got strict. Instead of like the same Wi-Fi, you could only be on the like same email or Ticketmaster account.
It was so annoying. Ticketmaster. And then, so after all that, I want to say I got in to buy tickets at about 8:30. I know I messaged you guys.
I think you got in before I did.
Yes.
It was close to like 9 o'clock where I was able to buy something.
It was ridiculous. And I'm like, dang, is this how my students felt when they were buying Map of the Soul tickets? Because I had sympathy. I was like, oh my God, this is awful. And yeah, I was like, it was the same thing. I clicked on, there were not the section above floor, but they were like that midsection open. Clicked on it. Sorry, it's been taken. Clicked on it. And I was just like, oh my God, I am not sitting in the nosebleeds after getting floor seats for Map of the Soul. So, again, I clicked on 400s and they finally were like, okay, put your money. And I was like, whatever. I was still pettily like entering my credit card information.
Mine's already just pre-programmed into my Ticketmaster account. So once I got the tickets, I was like, you want whatever. These? Yes. And I was like, yeah, put in your security code. You got them. I wasn't wasting any time because I felt like while I was typing, I would have been the one where it's like, oh, sorry, these have been taking. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
And that happened to me on the December 1st one. It had like I got in or it was like you have 200 and something people ahead of you. That's what it was. And then it kicked me and it put me at the end of the line. I was like, I wanted to throw my computer. I was like, screw you. I hate you. I'm done. No. And then I just stuck with December 2nd. But Ticketmaster, like, I don't know what y'all need to do, but those resale prices were ridiculous. Like,
oh my God.
I really don't get it. You're going to make money either way. I mean, I know it's a plus for you, but I mean, it was ridiculous. And
I've never seen resale tickets for anything like that. Like, why were people able to sell a ticket for like, is this not illegal? This is why I said Ticketmaster is like becoming a monopoly because for a lot of sports and just other artists, you can really only go to Ticketmaster unless the artist is very small. Right. Ticketmaster is really the place. Like even school events I went to at my college, if we wanted tickets, sometimes we had to go through Ticketmaster.
Yeah. I was curious because Harry Styles went on sale or was on sale at around the same time that BTS was for Orlando. And I was just like, you know what? He's a big artist. Let me go see what his ticket prices, are like for resale. They were nowhere near the ticket price resales for armies for BTS. But a couple of people that I saw on Twitter were saying that they put up their tickets. That's why you saw a lot of tweets saying, don't put your tickets on resale through Ticketmaster. Because apparently Ticketmaster was putting an automatic price on some of the tickets and they were ridiculously high. Like, so people were trying to sell them back for regular price and they were being automatically put in as higher. It was weird. I don't know.
And I also don't know because I was reading through Twitter that artists have the option of whether they want to do dynamic pricing or turn it off. Because I know recently Twice just had their tickets go on sale for their tour. Yes. And I saw a girl that I follow trying to get tickets and she would hover over one ticket, literally like maybe in the 100 section right next to each other. One ticket for going like for $200 and the ticket right next to it going for like 90 something. So they also turned that off for BTS. So I don't know if that's why resale was so much higher. Because like I don't know how many artists actually do the dynamic pricing or like the platinum package and the seats could be right next to each other. It's not really a difference. I don't know if that made a difference or not. I don't know, but
I mean, it's my stress for ticket purchasing has stretched over to every purchase I ever make. Eric, I remember you mentioned
Eric Nog, and
Eric
his was like the easiest.
Lord have mercy! Oh my God, it's going on sale, and they actually went on sale like a day earlier than they told us. Because again, shout out to my students, love y'all.
Shout out to you too, because what you said, I was like, oh, let me make an account.
Yeah, same. They were like, the tickets are on sale. I was like, whoa, what? Hold on. And I was at school grading and I was like, pause, let me go onto this website and go buy my tickets. And I did. So shout out to my students. Thank you for that. But I still had that same anxiety of like, oh my God, going on there, clicking on the website and being like, oh my God, is it going to be there? And then you get it and you're like, oh, thank God.
Yes. But the reason how I told you that they were holding tickets back, not just like when the sales happened. So because the general sale didn't happen as well as the Ticketmaster verification, because I know there was a lot of people that were like on that list and like they were waitlisted. Right. So I don't remember if they did this for all the days, but I do know for a fact, like, because I texted you when I was coming home from seeing my brother in Charlotte, like, what was it? Maybe that Friday when I was on the road. Like I said, every day I was just checking Ticketmaster. Like maybe really there's that one.
She was a lookout for me. I appreciate that.
Maybe there's just one nice person that's reselling them for like a decent price. Right. So I promise you, I think I was checking like almost every hour of every day. Like it was becoming a problem. Like I really need to delete this app off my phone, but my tickets are on here. So like, which I ended up putting on my Apple Wallet, but still, they opened up floor seats and like a bunch of other 500 seats, but you couldn't buy them unless you got a code. Yep. So like really good seats that were going for face value, they were locked and you had to have a code that they didn't even like send out to certain people. Yeah. Right. Apparently weird. They went to people that never had a chance for the verified. Yeah, for the verified Ticketmaster presale, which I understand because it wasn't fair. They have a chance, but like neither were people that were waiting for general public that maybe did go through the pre-sales and like weren't able to get anything or just weren't able to get the pre-sales at all because like you don't know if they can't afford the membership or you know they don't have the Ticketmaster verified account because they haven't been using Ticketmaster for that long, like so many other options. So like that also was like very sketchy to me because like I'm telling you 3 rows of like this B section, which was pretty close to the stage, and like the C section, like, I mean, they're further back, but all just opened up for like blue. And like, I tried to click on one and it said enter a code and I tried to use my passcodes and they weren't working up. Like, oh, Ticketmaster, snake. I was pissed and I know I was texting you. I was like, now don't tell me 3 days before this concert, Ticketmaster is going to release more tickets and you have to have a special code to get it.
It was ridiculous. Like I said, Ticketmaster, you need to fix your issues, learn from this because obviously there's going to be more fans now. Again, if BTS does a world tour, like I think the reason why part 1 of why it was such a bad experience with ticketing is, again, it was only 4 days and it was in one central location.
Right. From going over the whole, not even just the whole country, but like the whole world to like 4 days in one city.
In one location. So,
location.
I mean, I sat next to a girl, sweet as can be, by the way, from Australia. So we had people all over the world really buying tickets. And I think, so if this was your first experience buying BTS tickets, again, I'm going to knock on some wood here. It shouldn't be that bad if they do a world tour. Because again, people are going to try and go. I mean, there's going to be people that will go to all like 12 stops and salute to you. Please give me some of your wallet.
Them for having the money also, but
yes. If you have that money, I can share with you my account information so you can send me some. But there's going to be people that will, like, for example, if there's East Coast ones, I will go to the East Coast ones, preferably if there's Orlando again. Shout out, please come back to Orlando.
Please, we didn't get a chance.
I will throw my wallet at you if you come back to Orlando. And
please
again,
come back to Orlando.
Right,
like,
we don't have to compete.
I was so sad about that, and like I keep saying, like,
don't bring it back up because I'm gonna get depressed.
Well, like my 20, what is it? How old was I supposed to turn? 23rd birthday was just ruined because the day they were supposed to perform in Orlando was my actual birthday. So like every time I think of my 23rd birthday, I'm like, what happened?
I was like, you and one of my kids too. She was very, 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 very sad about that.
Oh God, I was so upset. And then like, I don't know if I mentioned it on here, but like that day, since like everything was locked down, I was like, okay, well like my Fifth Mustard DVD just came in. I guess I'll watch it when we go over to Vicky's house. And that was before we moved here, so she didn't have her DVD player set up and it wasn't Blu-ray, so I was like, okay, so I'm kind of just gotta sit here, eat my cake and like wallow.
No. So yeah, just just don't let this be your, I mean, you're going to have PTSD regardless now, but so welcome to the club. But I think if they do a world tour again, it won't be that bad, knock on wood. It'll still be bad, but not that bad. I think.
And like, I really wish whoever's in charge would stop underestimating how many people are fans of them.
Yes.
Like, I don't think people really understand how many fans they really, truly have.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's like getting ridiculous at this point.
And into that, let's segue into the actual concert day, because I think you brought up a perfect fact, because our next victim in this bad trilogy of what happened at the BTS concert is SoFi Stadium. SoFi Stadium. God. Oh my God. Where do we begin? You are going to be holding the Super Bowl, and you need to get your act together, because that was awful. That was awful.
I really want to know how like it goes for like these football shows that, or not shows, but like games that they have, because I mean, I'm not a football fan, so like I don't hear how it is for them getting into the stadium and all that, but like, girl, it was bad.
If it was anything like, though, at least the 2 nights I was there, it was, you got a lot of work to do, because that was, again, they really underestimated how many people would show out for this concert.
And like, I get it at the same time, because ever since the pandemic, I don't know where it's like anywhere else in the country, but like, especially here in America, we've been going through like worker shortage since the pandemic started. So I understand, because like everyone's tired of like being underpaid and working, especially like those people that work at the events. Like, I give them props for what they have to deal with, especially for large crowds like that. So I understand. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know if they thought, even though this was a concert happening, did no one inform them it was sold out? Did no one inform them how K-pop works, especially with the merch booth? Like, how many people are going to come who aren't even going to the concert just to buy
people
merch?
Who couldn't get tickets, like, to the concert were buying merch, which, again, I understand. I get it. And I think, and we've talked about this multiple times in our separate chats, MetLife, when you compare SoFi to MetLife, props to you. And again, this was pre-pandemic.
It's a different time, right? I don't know how much bigger also.
Maybe.
I also don't know how much bigger SoFi is compared to MetLife as far as stadium size.
SoFi's way bigger. Way bigger.
But still, organization-wise.
It was just, I mean, again, you had somebody standing out there handing out merchandise, like papers to tell us what was there with pencils. You could have had another person or that same person before you give me that merchandise paper. May I see your ticket? May I see your ticket? Because, again, you would have avoided the 9-hour line, or maybe, made it, because word spreads. If people find out that you need a ticket to buy merch, they will leave the line, okay? Or, you might have those that waste their time and stand in line for 9 hours to find out that they cannot get merch anyway. But there's no reason why they should have sold out of the tour merch. This is why you're here. And she's gonna get sad now. This is why.
Because I got no permission to dance merch. Nothing. I did get a photo card book, so I can put my photo cards in there that says permission to dance and a cute picture. But as far as like a t-shirt, nothing. Hoodie, what? What is that? Permission to dance. The only thing I was able to get was the Map of the Soul stuff, because apparently no one wanted to buy that. So I got a cute, like, long sleeve shirt, the tour hoodie, and another shirt from Map of the Soul. But, like, you would have thought I went to the Map of the Soul concert and not the Permission to Dance concert. And, like, I know I showed up late for both of them, because I wasn't going to wait in line for a t-shirt. I already know myself.
I'm weak.
I would have started some fights just from being irritated, tired, and hungry. And I'm not gonna ruin my chances of staying at the concert because I'm cranky. And I thought they would have enough. They even ran out of army bombs.
Yes.
And I felt so bad for Precious' little sister Zaria, because that's really all she wanted for the concert, and she wasn't able to get any. Even K-pop stores we went to in the city, I mean, we only went to one, but they didn't have any either. I couldn't even use mine, and I'll tell you when we get to the actual concert. But that was my own dumbass fault why I couldn't use my army bomb. But I just felt so bad for her. She wasn't able to buy one for herself. So, and they were sold out even before we got to LA, like sold out.
And see, that's the thing. It's, yes, Weverse. And I mean, I get it. Everybody flooded to Weverse to get their stuff. Because a lot of I think everything, even the Permission to Dance merch on Weverse was sold out.
Gone.
It was interesting.
Nothing.
So on the opposite fact from Simone, my sister and I went at 7. So we actually got to LA the night before. So during day 1's concert, we got there.
Day 3.
Day 3's concert, we got there.
Sometimes I want to say that because I want to be like day 1, but it's technically like day 3.
Day 3,
November,
yes.
Yeah.
December 1st. We got there December 1st. We went from LAX to our hotel real fast, dropped that stuff off, and came straight to the venue because we were like, all right, we're going to be good. We're going to get our merch tonight while they're inside singing it up. We're going to be outside spending money, right? So we get up there and we get to the front of the stadium. So the very front that's facing the Forum. I think that's the front. If it isn't, sorry. And we walk up to
I don't think I even experienced the whole stadium because like I know there was a huge sign where like that said Permission to Dance, and I wanted to take a picture of it, but like just the way things were going, I'm like, child, this place is too big.
That line was like 4 hours long to take a picture with a sign. I was like, no.
Good thing I didn't go look for it.
I don't have that kind of time.
I don't.
But we walked to the first tent we saw. It was one of the big express ones. And we noticed a lot of that stuff was kind of gone. I should have bought my pictures that night, like the giant pictures that they were selling, but whatever, I'll kick myself later. And we asked, like, hey, do you guys have smalls? Because that's what we were looking for. Small shirt, whatever, for Permission to Dance. They're like, oh, we sold out of all the Permission to Dance stuff. And I was like, well, at least those shirts. And I said, well, are you going to have them tomorrow? And he goes, oh, yeah, we're going to restock tomorrow. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I guess we're just going to end up having to come here early. But me being me, I was like, let me buy some stuff now. So I bought one Permission to Dance hoodie because that was the only Permission to Dance thing they had. And then a Map of the Soul shirt for one of my friends. And we asked for Army Bombs. Sorry, we're sold out. And that was when I gave the look of like, you're sold out of Army Bombs?
Right, because like how before we started recording, like how you said, oh, I'll just get this stuff tomorrow. So like after day 3 of the concert, we actually did go into the merch line, but it was only to get Zarya an Army Bomb because we thought they had more. We didn't know they were sold out. So like I already saw there was some signs on some stuff that said, sold out, but like there were still quite a few. So I was like standing in line after, I think we asked through like the grapevine of like people in front of us if they had more Army Bombs and they told us no. I was like, okay, well, even though the plans didn't change because something personally happened to me, we'll get to that again a little bit later. I was like, okay, so maybe we'll just have to try to get here earlier to see if we can get Zarya an Army Bomb. And I like took a mental note of the numbers of the stuff that I wanted. So like once I get to the line, I could just tell them, size, this merchandise, and then go. Didn't think they would sell out, but I had the same mindset as you. Like, I'll just get this tomorrow.
Right. I mean, like I said, the only thing I have to go back on is MetLife. Like, MetLife, they had 2 days, again, half the amount, but they didn't sell out anything. Like, they had everything. I was able to get everything on my list that I wanted. Army Bomb merch, pictures, flags, whatever. So it was, again, very shocking. They knew they had 4 days. They knew a lot of people were coming. And I think, again, when we came that night, we didn't realize that they weren't checking tickets. It didn't even occur to me, actually, walking up there that they didn't have checking them yet.
I didn't go to like the main merch booth at MetLife because when we got our merch, it was one of the ones where you were already inside the stadium. So like they didn't ask. That's why when you kept saying that, I'm like, I didn't get asked if I had tickets for MetLife. But then I was like, well,
I could have sworn they did. Yeah.
I don't know. I went to a merch booth that was inside the stadium.
Again, 30 years old. I don't remember.
I'm pretty cute.
My sister did say though,
like you're 80.
I remember walking. We had to go through like a security checkpoint, which again, SoFi didn't do until you got inside the stadium. MetLife, there was a turnstile kind of area where you walk through and they check your bags and stuff like that just to get into the parking lot to buy merch. This was before you get into the venue. So I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure they did check like tickets and stuff before we got in there for MetLife. But I mean, SoFi, I bought the little things that I had to buy And then we just kind of were like, all right, there's an In-N-Out right next door. Let's go hang out there, which again, mistake number one. We should have just went home. Should have just went back to that hotel there because we had like an hour left, or not even, about 30 minutes before you guys got done before. And we just like, we'll get In-N-Out real fast and leave. No. Which comes to problem number, I don't know what number we're on. Leaving.
I don't know either, but like, yes, the leaving, because for some reason, I don't also know who set this up. On day 3, there were 2 events going on. So there was the BTS concert and something happening at the World
AIDS Day.
I don't know. I just know that traffic was horrible. I was just sitting there like, I just want to go home. It's taking me an hour and a half to get to a spot that is 15 minutes away. And I had to try to find a way to turn around also because the way we got out the parking lot, like I could only go the one direction. I had to find a way to like make a U-turn. And once I did that, I was fine, but it's just like an hour sitting there, and then here's Zarya in the back, like, oh, BTS is on V Live. I'm like, ow.
How did they leave? How did they get there so quickly? They're teleporting.
Honestly.
Yeah. So you got to drive out. So kudos to you. You could sit in the warmth. I envy you. We had to walk. We migrated with the thousands, it felt like, of people walking as far away from SoFi as you possibly could to get away and get an Uber. It was awful.
Off topic real quick. I was so terrified of like driving in LA because like I've never really driven outside my city before, and like this isn't my car. Her aunt let us borrow her car, so I was like, oh my god, I don't want to damage her car. I don't want to like get into an accident. I don't know how these people here drive. And like the first day we got there, seeing how they drove, I'm like, oh god.
Mad.
And then I didn't know how to work her car at first, so like getting there and coming back, I had people flashing their lights at me. I was like, why are people flashing their lights at me? I was like, oh god, I don't have the lights on. But I was like, thank you to the guy strangers for letting me know. So I'm not sitting here like an idiot, and I found out how to turn on their lights. But yeah, that was fun. And when I dropped you off, I was a little bit more comfortable. I did not take the highway.
I don't blame you.
We took an extra 30 minutes after we dropped you off on day 4 to get back to her aunt's place because I refused to take that highway. And it was a little bit easier because the roads were empty. And I think also because it was Thursday night. But I was like, no, I was so tired.
I will say, because we went to LA, 3 years ago now. And I don't remember the traffic being like that. Everybody, when I always tell them, like, the difference between Atlanta and LA with driving, I felt horrible in Atlanta driving. Like, Atlanta gave me anxiety. I was like, I mean, traffic in LA was bad, but I mean, it was doable. Like, it just kept moving. It was just a lot of people. Sitting in the back of an Uber, I was like, Lord have mercy. At first, I don't know if it was just because I was in the back. And, you know, once you get used to driving, sitting in the back of a car is kind of like, oh, God.
Right. Oh, I hate sitting in the back of a car now. Even like the passenger seat, like I'm holding onto that handle, like for dear life sometimes.
Yeah, it was something. I was like, yep, nope, I take back everything I said. This is not good. Driving here is crazy. So yeah, I understand.
Yes,
completely understand.
So it took you guys a very long time, even though you didn't even go to the concert at all to get home.
We did not. It took us, so you guys ended at 10:30? 10?
I'm maybe closer to 10. No, I think 10:30. Because when I got out of the, like, where we were sitting, we waited in the merch line a little bit, decided not to buy anything. We heard they didn't have army bombs. Got in the car around 11, and we didn't get home till around, like, maybe 12:30 for day 3.
Yeah, I think it was like 10:30-ish we started. We were in In-N-Out, and we started to see, like, the groups coming. Like, we're like, crap. Then we left. So when the line for In-N-Out stretched way past SoFi, we were like, we got to get out of here. And we just started walking. Again, don't know much about LA, but I know Crenshaw is a very hard area. And we started walking over there. And
her aunt lives near around there. And it's like, I
saw the streets we were walking towards, and I was like, I don't think we should be walking in this direction, but we need to get an
broad
Uber.
daylight. And I'll talk about this more when Precious was here. When we were going to like the Dollar Tree, we had to walk there because she didn't really have any food in her place because she lives by herself. No, a homeless guy was like following us trying to get some money. So that just shows you. Yeah, thankfully, like he ended up leaving us alone, but I was like, Oh my God. This is also my first time being in LA too.
Oh no.
So I'm like, oh, do I want to come back here? But like also where she lives, like I said, she only lives 15 minutes away from SoFi Stadium. And like even she was telling us like they're building so many stadiums around here because they're trying to have the Olympics in 2024, the Winter Olympics. They want to be so one of course, Inglewood is already kind of like a poor neighborhood. And with them building all these stadiums, they're like pushing them out more and like making more of the homeless, homeless. Because like I remember we drove by a place they were doing construction. You just saw a homeless guy pushing his car. And I was like, this is really... Yo, gentrification's real.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Like, it was breaking my heart.
It was very... Driving around LA, and again, you go to the different parts. So we went to, like, the outskirts of Beverly Hills on Friday. So this was the day after.
Yeah, I didn't even really get to see tour the city, to be honest. I would need to go again to, like, see... Because, like, our plan was to see, like, the Hollywood sign, and we didn't have time to do that. Wow. We were just so tired, and, like, days that we thought we had planned to do stuff, we would not have as much time as we thought because we'd have to get ready for the concert. So... Right.
We just spent the day afterward. We went to the Griffith Observatory, which was nice, which is, again, on the outskirts of Beverly Hills. We picked up some, like, donuts and stuff in the Beverly Hills area. So we got to see, like, the nice part. But we also got to see the very sketchy part. And that brings me to the story of what happened with my finger. Those scooters, by the way, the ones that you rent, dangerous.
People say that even for the scooters here, like you can rent out. I've never ridden one, but I remember one time I was working and like some lady was like coming back and she fell off the scooter. Like, man, her leg was so scratched up.
So again, now this kind of goes into the weird, sketchy areas. And my sister, I was told by a friend when I went to Atlanta, like, you got to get rid of that Florida mentality when you go to big cities like, Atlanta's, LA's, New York's.
Wait,
like,
what is the Florida mentality?
So the Florida mentality is it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, and I'm just going to go down the street real fast to go get gas or to go pick up something real fast, like whatever. Like,
well, you must not live where I live in Florida. Because,
maybe not. No, over here, I'm like, I got to get gas. I'm going to do it right now.
You can do that, but like... No, I know how not to do that even where I live. So in Florida.
Well, yeah, no, that's over here. It's like, whatever.
I was like, you must live in a different part.
Orlando, again, depending on where you were, you could like, whatever. I just need to go to the store real fast. Like, I got to make this quick trip to Walmart at whatever time. It's not that big of a deal here. Over there, we stayed by USC, like literally directly across the street from the college. And there were scooters. And again, mindset. So if you go around UCF, which is in Orlando, walking around any of those areas at night isn't as, it doesn't feel as treacherous because there's people outside all the time.
And it's a bigger city and there's a bunch of college students. Exactly. So it's kind of built for them to try to be as safe as they can.
Right.
Like
That's
once they go outside.
That's the Florida mentality of like, it's outside, it's public. There's people walking around. I will be okay. So I used to be like that until I talked to my friend in Atlanta and she's like, yeah, no, don't do that. And she's from Florida, so she knows. And so we wanted to get some like chicken and waffles, which was really like, it said a 10-minute walk, but we had the scooter. So we're like 5 minutes, whatever. Hop on those scooters. We start scooting around. Again, we're thinking this is in the USC area. We'll be fine. And then we go under a bridge. And this is when, when you go, you're like,
oh God.
There's that you started not seeing people. Right. And it started to look a little raggedy over here. And, you have like trash everywhere. You see homeless tents. You see like graffiti everywhere. And I was like, ooh, even though this place is 2 minutes away, I'm starting to feel a little uneasy. Then the worst started to happen. The scooter started to die. Because we had gotten out of range. Yeah, never rode these scooters before, so didn't really know there was a range. I thought you could just ride these things all over the place.
Don't they go by the hour or no? Like
they
how you pay them?
Minute? It's like something.
Is it the minutes or like how much you pay for it?
No, this one was the minutes. So it was like every minute was like 30 something cents or 15 cents.
Every scooter is different.
Okay.
Yes, because there's somewhere it goes by how much you pay into it, and then how much you pay is like the hour or minute. Yeah, I don't know how you paid for these scooters, so that's why I'm confused.
This one was through the Uber app, and you could just pick them up, and it was like some cents per minute. And then when you're done, you just say stop, and it'll charge you how much you used. So we started, and it just started roll, like it wouldn't move, and I was like, oh my God, okay, fine, let's just end it. We're 2 minutes away, but before that, I it started to slow down and I hit a bump in the road and I went into like a fence kind of.
Oh no.
And I like slammed my pinky finger into this fence. So now I'm like gushing blood.
Oh my God.
Are these waffles worth it? They better be. And
Were
our
they
scooter
worth it?
started we never got to go because the scooters died and we're like, let's just park them here and leave. It was like, sorry, you're out of area. You cannot leave. I was like, nah. I said, let's go. We're going back to the hotel. I'm done. Like, I left a murder scene on that scooter. Long story short, whoever bought it after me, I'm very sorry. It's okay. I don't have any diseases. It was bad. So,
oh my
transportation
God.
in LA is, it was definitely interesting.
Damn, we all have our like, oh my God.
It was a mess. Like I said, that LA trip was something else.
If they have a tour and God forbid they don't go back to Orlando, I'm only going to New York. That's it. I'm just saying. I'm not going back to
Chicago at this point. Like LA, I think I'm done with you for concerts. Texas, yes. I'll come to you. Anywhere else but LA, I'll go to you for fun. I'm going to have to go with you
for Texas, but no, I'm sticking with the East Coast.
Yes, East Coast.
Especially for like my sleep schedule because like I think the reason, so like what I said for day 4, the reason we didn't go as early as we wanted to, well, one, we were kind of, we tried to adventure out, so we already woke up pretty late. Well, they woke up pretty late. I was still on East Coast time. So like I was waking up every day at like 3 or 4 and couldn't go back to sleep. So I was already very sleep deprived. Not even just from excitement, just from like I couldn't get used to the time change for some reason. So we went to the K-pop store that's in Koreatown, which is also very interesting. I'm like, wow, you can really live here and like be Korean and just like not know any English or learn it and you'll just be fine. So that was interesting. But we went to that one K-pop store, Choice Music LA. And like even there it's like, damn, we gotta wait in line for this too. So we basically spent most of our afternoon there. And then we like were heading back, running a couple errands for her aunt. We tried to get something to eat, but I think because I was just awake for so long and like, I don't know what was happening. I was like so cold when we got our food. I couldn't really eat. And like, I was just like freezing. So like I was like, I'm tired. I need to try to take a nap before. And like the alarm already set off like a little bit later than I planned for it to go. I slept through the alarm a little bit. So we didn't leave until like later than we really had hoped for. Traffic getting there actually the 4th day wasn't as bad, maybe because there wasn't another event. That's true. But I just wasn't feeling well. Like I basically didn't eat that whole day. I was sleep deprived. I was cold. So our plan to get there to get merch wasn't happening. And I was almost to the point where I was like, you know, Precious, Zaria, if you need money for an Uber, I got you. The tickets are on my phone. Just take my phone. I will give you the password. I don't know if I can make it. It was that bad. But like I pushed through. I still enjoyed it. And we'll talk about the actual concert soon. But like, I didn't think I'd be able to go. And like, I didn't even get to wear my mom headband. Oh, no. Because I really wanted to. I wore Koya day 3. And I also got like some, you know, like how fans for ARMY. This is the only fandom I know that does that hands out like fan gifts. Yes. I was walking like trying to get to my seat, you know, like it was already crowded. And some girl just kind of shoved things at me. She's like, here. And I was like, thank you. And like they were like cute little artwork of like Namjoon. I think because I was wearing the Koya headband, that's why she gave it to me. Okay. So I thought that was really sweet. But like the way she was like, here you go. I was like, thank you. I was very thrown off.
Speaking of nice fans, before we continue, I came home with more than I went there with. Like I had to buy a bag. That's how much stuff fans were handing out. So it was so nice. Everybody was super nice.
Actually, I only got that when we got to our seats on day 3. A girl that we were sitting next to gave us like a little cute postcard that said permission to dance. And it was kind of like the way like the Hollywood sign is written. So it said permission to dance on mountains and a bracelet of an ARMY bomb. That's pretty much it. I didn't get as much stuff. I mean, I didn't get that much stuff at MetLife either. But yeah, I always enjoy that part. It's fun.
It's nice.
But yeah, I made it through. I thought I was going to die day 4 because another idiotic thing that I did was book our plane tickets for early in the morning. So after the concert at 10:30, and we had to drop you guys off. By the time we actually got back to our aunt's place, it was 1 a.m. Had to get back up at 3 to be at the airport at 5 to catch a 6:30 flight. So like I basically didn't eat for like more than 24 hours as well as not sleep. So I don't know why I put my body through this. I don't know how I survived. And I'm getting too old for this shit. Getting way too old to be doing this to myself.
And that is exactly why I took an extra day. Because I was like, I remembered MetLife and how we had 30 minutes to get to our plane because we accidentally slept in too late. Thank God we stayed across the street, but I was like, I will never do that again.
MetLife wasn't bad because I actually planned accordingly. And also, I wasn't just there for the concert. That was when my brother was still living there at the time. So I got to spend some time with him. Yeah, so that was nice. And I didn't cry because at MetLife, when we were sitting at the airport, I think I already talked about this back when me and Macy talked about our concert experience. Like, I texted my brother and we were waiting for our plane. Like, I was here and he like texted back like, oh, okay, I'm glad that you made it safely through security and everything. It was great to see you. And I don't know what hit me, but like the waterworks just, I am not a person to cry. Trust me. Like, if you know me, I rarely cry, but I would just like bursted into tears. I was sobbing. You felt that. I felt like I was getting off the high of the concert. It was the first time in a while I did something because that concert in MetLife was also around May, so it was around my birthday, a little bit after. We flew out to go to New York on my actual birthday. And then, like, I haven't seen my brother at that time, maybe, like, since I last went up there in, like, 2017. So it was just, like, a lot of emotions hitting me. And Macy was terrified. I was so sad. She was so scared. She's like, this girl never cries. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. What's wrong with her? It took me a while to calm down. And, like, no, I was literally sobbing. But I didn't cry for this one. I think I was too sleep deprived and too annoyed to cry.
Annoyed being the key term. But we've talked like an hour about all the bad stuff. That's how you know it was super stressful. We haven't even.
Well, we didn't get to the SoFi Stadium yet. Just real quick. Yes, so, how was your gate when you got there day 4? Hopefully, when I record with Precious and Zaria, we could talk about this a little bit more. But for day 3, so it was already confusing, like, once we parked, because I bought parking passes. Thank God for that also. And we got there and, like, we saw this, like, huge line wrapping around the building. I'm like, is this the line to get in? So, like, we were very confused. And, like, we asked the person, like, hey, our entrance says entrance A. Do you know what that is? And he pointed to, like, another entrance. So I was like, okay, good. It's not this entrance. There's a bunch of people waiting at. And I don't even know if everyone knew, like, this isn't the only entrance to get in. Right. So we started, walking around the stadium to try to find our entrance. And then when we passed by this one entrance, I don't remember what, no. So before that, one of the staff was yelling, like, I guess there's too many people, like, just huddle up in one spot. So they're like, we're going to open an entrance over here. And I kid you not, like, people weren't trying to run, but, like, people were, like, trying to hustle their way to their other entrance. And we were trying to as well, like, making sure not to get lost. And then as soon as we passed, I think it was entrance 9, we saw the woman started opening it. So we went through that one. But, like, Briana, when I tell you they didn't check our vaccination cards, they didn't ask us. Literally, like, we went through the metal detector and, of course, put our bags through, like, that little box and we slide it in. Right. The guy that was standing there was on his phone the whole time. Didn't even look at my bags. Didn't even look at us. I was like, okay, it was way too easy to get in here. I could have had something in this bag, even though it's clear.
Yes, right.
What the hell? And then, of course, the person who scanned our tickets, I'm like, wow, it was way too easy to get in. And, like, we just got there 30 minutes ago. It was able to get in right away compared to probably people waiting for, like, hours. Right. Thankfully, I don't think it was, like, day 1. I don't think anybody got in after the concert already started. That was a disaster for people that went to day 1. I heard.
Actually, one of my students went to was it day 1 and day 2? I think both day 1 and day 2. And she was like, we were outside. They took, I think, 15 minutes into the concert. They were still outside waiting to try and get in. It was crazy.
Wow. So yeah, I didn't know about day 2. I just remember day 1 and, like, yeah, that wasn't good. But we were able to get in, like, maybe an hour earlier. But it's the fact that they didn't check anything. So I was surprised on day 4 when we rolled up. closer to the time they opened gates, and they actually were checking cards. But I mean, they weren't really checking. Like, they just held a flashlight to my card just to make sure it was signed, and then checked my ID, and then kind of went us through. And a lady did check my bag this time. Yes. But like day 3, I was just like, okay, let's go through the metal detector. It didn't go off. He didn't look up to see anything.
Wow. Yeah, no, again, we were there from 7:30 in the morning. So I can give you the experience of what I saw all day. There were little people, and they were SoFi people with check marks or question marks, not check marks, above them, like information people. And when you walked up to them, they were the ones doing the vaccination card stuff. So they'd ask you for your vaccination card, they'd check it, and then you got a little orange wristband. And so that was the vaccine check. I think they did have a tent, but they had people wandering to make it go by faster. We got in line for our gate at about 2:00. And so we had, again, all that was running through my mind the entire day was the experiences of day 1 and day 2 for the concert of, like, you know, people didn't realize there were other gates. Everybody was lined up, I think, along that back gate that was facing like that Target area, like Target shopping center, that area. And so I asked people, I said, you know, we're section whatever. Which gate would it be more beneficial? He's like, honestly, you could line up along any of them, but he goes, people don't really use the other gates up front. They're all back here because they buy merch and then they hang out back here and then they line up back here. So I said, okay. So we made our way to gate 4, which was way around all the way up front. And we sat there from 2:00 all the way until they let us in. And I mean, everybody was super nice. Nobody, like, you know, you go to things and you wait in line for a really long time. People get agitated and they did it. We heard sound check from out there. So people started freaking out. Once the line started,
they were definitely nicer day 4 than day 3, the staff.
Oh, really? Oh, God.
I remember also for day 4, there was this girl, I felt so bad for her. Like, she had her mask on. This was a staff member, and like, the first day before she started screaming, like, I was standing next to her, so I heard her. She's like, I'm so tired of this. And she started screaming, I need 2 lines if you want. Zaria could do the impression a lot better. But that was funny. And then also for day 3, when they were opening up the 3rd gate, some guy was like, first telling everyone not to run, but then he was like, the first thing this man said was like, if you understand English, and then he started to explain like where to go. I was like, first of all, sir, not everybody here that is going to this concert speaks English. So you already knew you were wrong for screaming that. Like I said, Precious and Zaria could explain that more, because I was kind of sitting there in shock that he just screamed that out, and I was like, okay, I need to get inside because this is too much. This is too much for me.
I will say about entering the gate now. So people bought merch. That's the thing. And a lot of people, again, Ubered their way there. So the merch that they bought, they had, like, it was on them.
Right.
So you had people that bought B albums. You had people that bought Permission to Dance albums. And each of those albums came in a box. And of course, the Army bombs. People bought Army bombs. Again, came in a box. The box
those come in a box.
You know, my sister was using her box to hold all her little stuff because she didn't buy a bag. When we got to the gate, the lady was like, "You can't bring boxes in here." And
you know, I heard someone else saying that as well.
It was a madhouse. So they were telling people they had to throw away their B album box and their Permission to Dance box. So my sister, again, who had kept all her like little knickknacks and fan gifts and all that stuff in her Army bomb box, now was like desperately, she had to open the box, she dumped all the stuff into the little tray that they were searching, dumped the box away. I had bought one of those giant plastic bags or not bags, but like the see-through bags from a guy who was selling them for $10.
Yeah.
I was like quickly throwing all her stuff. It was a madhouse into that. And then we got in. And it was fine after that. Then like 20 minutes later, we saw people with their B albums and their stuff. And my sister was mad. She was like, are you serious? Like, you just told everybody initially you have to throw up. And she even said it. She's like, rules changed. Day 3, they allowed it. Day 4, they didn't. And it was like, oh, y'all need to get that fixed.
There was so much miscommunication with the staff.
Oh, it was so bad. I feel bad for anybody who literally bought their $50 album, B album, or their $20 Permission to Dance album, and had to throw away the box, like
the actual album box?
Actual album box.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. And it's like, I mean, I could understand if it was unwrapped. I still couldn't understand that, but I get it. I get you don't know what they could have put in the box between when they bought it and when.
Or
but these were
like
sealed.
The army bombs.
Right.
Like the box.
These were sealed boxes. Now, my sister's was open because she had checked her army bomb and stuff. But again, these album boxes were sealed. Like, people hadn't even taken them out of the plastic wrap yet. And they forced them to open them, take all the stuff out, and throw the box away. So that was probably the thing that I was like, ooh, if that were me, I'd be pissed. And of course, they had enough time if they drove to go back to their car, throw it in there and whatever. But if you didn't drive or you didn't have somewhere to put it, you had to throw the box away.
Which wasn't
and then
a lot
they changed
of people.
it. So I don't know if people got mad and were like starting to get like, no, I paid. And then they just started letting them in. So
that's another thing real quick about the driving. Because like I said, I bought parking passes. Mm-hmm. So like for day 3, when he scanned my little like parking pass, he just gave me a receipt. And then day 4, like they scanned my thing, didn't give me a receipt, but gave me something to put on the car to make sure I was supposed to be there. And I didn't realize I was supposed to have something on the car until day 4. So I was like, wait, so like I could have possibly gotten towed for day 3 because all I got was my receipt?
Oh my God. Like SoFi, get your act together. It was
again, I understand because of the problems we've been having with like staffing, but at the same time, this is what I say, like I don't think people really underestimate how big of artists BTS are and how many fans they have. Yes. Because I'm like, I guess they just staffed to where they didn't think that many people were going to show up, even though they were all sold out. Like, I don't understand the hiring process, the like meeting process beforehand where you're supposed to train them.
Go over this information.
It was
and they're lucky. They really are lucky that armies are a predominantly nice fan base because
and understanding.
Yes,
to a certain degree.
If not, it could have gotten really
bad.
Yeah, I mean, when you have armies out there directing traffic because nobody was out there directing traffic, I mean, you have armies that are allowing people to keep merch, like people you just met, like, hey, I drove here, you can leave your stuff in my car, and then we'll just, switch numbers and we'll meet up after the concert. So, you had armies that were really, really putting themselves out there really nice.
Yeah, and I am proud of everyone for, like, throughout the whole entire thing, from, like, entrance, the entire show, and just leaving that I won't say everyone, because when we get to the concert, when majority of people kept their mask on.
Yes.
So I was proud of that as well.
In our section, I will say everybody was really good about that. And even standing outside, because again, Florida could never. Standing outside.
Please come to Orlando, because if they have this war tour, I don't know. Especially with what's the new variant going on right now. I can't pronounce it. Everyone keeps calling it Omarion, so that's what I want to say.
The Omarion variant, the Omicron, Megatron, Optimus, I don't know, whatever it is.
Variant going on. That's why I'm like, oh God, I want him to come to Florida, but like the way we're handling.
We're not handling. What do you mean? What do you mean? Florida ain't doing nothing. No.
I might have to go to New York.
Oh, Lord. Do we want to talk about the good now?
Yes. We spent like an hour talking about.
I need to get happiness in me now. I'm like starting to get agitated all over again.
We got the bad out the way though, so now we can fangirl about the good. Like, honestly, that's why I should have watched my concert videos beforehand, because some of it's a little bit of a blur, okay? I'm not gonna lie. Especially with me not feeling well, and like I haven't been in like nosebleed in so long. I was like getting so dizzy up there. I was like, whoa. Oh, really? Like the way I was tilting, I'm not afraid of heights, but like I am so high up.
A little high up here. A lot.
And we had pretty good like seats, like even though we were in the 500 sections, we were like in row 4. So like it was cool pretty much seeing like everything from so high, because like I didn't even notice like there was like LED lights on the mini stage. So like when they perform certain songs, they changed. But yeah, like the first 20 minutes sitting there, I was like, oh, I'm so high. I'm so high up.
She needed that motion sickness.
I did, and I didn't have any. I had to tough it out. And then once the concert started, I was a little bit better, but I was like every time they performed, I would stand up And then when they took breaks, like during the VCRs, yes. I sat down.
Yes,
so,
same.
Oh, here's where I get to like my dumbassery. I know that's not a word for the army bomb. So on day 3, when we got there, I realized I didn't have batteries for my thing because I don't keep them in there because, you know, the acid leaks out and I don't want it to ruin the army bomb. So I'm like, okay, I'll buy batteries when we get there at the merch line, because they sell them, even though they're like overpriced, but I'll buy them there. Yep. And then I saw that merch line. I was like, you know what? Never mind. I guess this is going to be my first BTS concert not using my army bomb. I'm just going to have to hold my phone and like wave my hand like I have one. So that was that. And then we were doing our little errands and everything. We went to like a CVS and bought some batteries. I'm like, cool, I have batteries now. But I forgot that, at least with my phone, I don't know if they had any Wi-Fi. I couldn't find Wi-Fi at the stadium, but like I had no signal there. So I forgot to stop at like a pairing booth. And when I got to my seat to try to pair my army bomb to my phone, I couldn't. So so I went all through the trouble of buying these batteries and I still can't use this because I have no signal. So like it's still kind of connected through Bluetooth and like I still waved it around. So like there was times it was working and it wasn't working. So like there were some songs that actually, it was weird because I'm like, I didn't pair this, but there were some songs it was like actually working and then there were some songs it wasn't. So it was like, you know what, whatever. It's just going to be the way it is.
You weren't the only one I heard said that the version 3 didn't work. Like everybody, a lot of people I knew, because I bought both, but me and my dumbassery, I forgot my version 3 at home, and I was playing it. I was like, I'm gonna bring it, and I left it here. So that's why I ended up buying the limited edition one because I was like, I need it.
And I like kind of wanted the permission, or not the permission to dance. The what is the Persona? That's what it's called, right? The newer version. Yeah. I wanted that, but I'm like, damn, this LED light is so bright. I might blind myself.
It was mad bright. Like how you can use that whole thing as a whole flashlight? I was like, you freaking bright.
You can use those things to literally direct planes, like at night.
Mean, they were using them to direct traffic, so we saw them.
I was like, yo, why is this so bright? Why?
Yep.
How did they not go blind?
Yes.
I remember that was one of the jokes, like, during the pandemic, if they have concerts again, like, yo, these, like, LED new army bombs are so bright, we might actually blind BTS. We didn't, thank God, but...
Oh, yeah, they're nice, though, but yeah,
they look nice, but, like, they're just so
I missed
bright.
the rice, or whatever the hell it was in the middle. The shaker things.
The little shaker things, and then, like, the little symbol on the inside as well. I like my version 3.
I like the older version a little bit, because it, like, when you're shaking it, you feel it. Like, you're like, ah! Like, ah! This one, it's like, it doesn't have the same, like, weight, like, the effort. I don't feel the effort when I'm shaking it. With the other one, I was like, yeah.
Like, it just added on to the excitement.
Yes, it did.
Because even though mine wasn't, like, working properly, I still felt like I was in it because, like, the way it was shaking. Yeah. I don't know what those things are inside are called or what they are. You call them rice. I don't think the rice.
I can't. Everything's rice. Everything is rice.
Yes. So then, yes, the excitement of the actual concert, opening up with On, and like I was already, well, I think because I wasn't feeling good, I definitely was more excited day 3 than day 4, but I still had a good time.
Oh yeah.
I love their little VCR things that they played. Like I almost wanted to get up and start dancing to them. So
it was like everything about it, the atmosphere, like I said, when you go to a BTS concert, everything is entertaining. The fans are entertaining, the lighting, the VCRs, just the feel of it is great. I don't know. There's just a whole different level of excitement going to them. Of course, when they came out, you know, and you're like, even from the nosebleed, seeing the 7 little specks down there was so, you know, like, yay.
And then, like, when every member would, like, come on, like, before they start talking, you would hear the cheers. And then, like, I got my, you know, Precious, like, her biases are Jimin. And then she says Jimin and V are a package deal. So, of course, when she screams as loud for Jimin, she's going to scream as loud for V. Yep. Then you have Zarya, who's, like, in love with Yoongi. So, like, every time he came on, she's screaming her head off. I was trying to even it out. But, of course, you know, when Namjoon came on, I was just like, oh my God. He's looking
at least you didn't have
that red hair.
My sister was sitting next to me going, every time Jimin came on, I was like, all my videos have something of her going like, yeah!
Oh, listen, day 3, like every time Jimin came on, I got Precious on my right, screaming extra loud. Every time like Sugar came on, I got Zaria on my left. You could hear it in my videos.
Yes, just the crying and the. Like, girl, chill.
And like, I was so surprised. Like, I was cussing so much in some of my videos. Like, I was like, that's my shit. I don't know what song it was, but I know there was a song that I screamed out. I screamed out, Jin, fuck it up. And like, I don't know what song that was going on. I need to find that video.
Please do.
Speaking of cussing, was I like not paying attention, or was Namjoon cussing just as much on day 4 and 3 as he was the first days, or he wasn't? Because like I said, some things were a blur, and like I would go back and see videos on Twitter. I was like, he said
that's
that.
The same. I mean, it was so loud.
It was so loud, even like with the mask.
People were screaming during their speeches or whenever they would say anything. So I didn't hear a lot of the cussing on day 4. Day 4, I know he did during, oh my God, I don't remember the song. It might have been Telepathy or Disease, maybe. Don't quote me.
Don't know.
Where he did, because remember, we were in the car afterward and I said, oh, he said that? And I think he did it the first couple days than he did on day 3 and day 4.
I remember seeing jokes like, because day 4, his parents were there and he said that in the V Live and everyone was like, yo, you're cussing like this in front of your parents? I mean, I do too. My dad cusses with me, so like we have that type of relationship, right. But it's just funny. It was just funny. So
like I said, they were living life. And then when poor Jimin couldn't handle the smoke, they were like assaulting this man with that smoke gun. I was like, let him breathe. I was like, yo, Jin is just out here assaulting Jimin with the smoke gun. It was so funny.
Yes, to this day, I said this for MetLife, but even this one, like for some reason, something emerges out of ARMY when they perform Fake Love. Like, I still think that's the loudest song that like is cheered for it and like sang back to as far as fan chants. Like, I don't know what possesses everyone when Fake Love comes on, but like I couldn't hear myself think. But I know I was one that's like, Fake Love.
Yeah, they were going hard. And to all the people who said that they weren't doing fan chants loud, I don't know if anybody said that about day 4, but the fan chants were loud.
Especially when I was in the 500, like the fan chants were loud, especially the girls behind me.
Yes.
Like, I know it was a little bit quiet for like when Yoongi did like for the I Need You for his part, but that's because of the mask, honestly. I feel like they'd been louder if we weren't all wearing masks. But like, I know people around me were definitely doing the fan chants.
And I think it goes to what you were saying about the mask. And I also think it goes to how SoFi is built. Because there were some points where I could literally, even though I know everybody was yelling, I could only hear like my section. It was a weird acoustics thing. But I mean, to preface this by saying, and going back to when we went to go buy merch day 3, we showed up and we were at the forum and we could hear We Are Bulletproof Eternal from the parking lot of the forum, which is across the street. So fans were definitely screaming and doing fan chants and, you know, all this stuff. So we were pretty loud.
Yes, we were pretty loud. Very loud. The member I was surprised were, in my opinion, I felt like got like the most screams was Yoongi. I don't know.
He definitely had a whole section to himself to my left. Like,
I was like, if I in a stadium full of Yoongi biases, my God.
Yoongi and Namjoon. Like, I was just like, there was like a Yoongi fan like ship over to my left, and then like a Namjoon was like up at the top right, like up there.
I don't know what it is about like American fans, but I feel like the Hyung line in general has like more fans in America. Like, we always, I feel, not to say we don't love all of them, but I noticed like they get like the loudest cheers, and especially like when J-Hope was like, oh, I just like hearing my name chanted, and like we spent 5 minutes.
We got you, bro.
Like, we got you. Oh, you like hearing your name? You're here for 5 minutes straight right now.
Yes. No, I don't know if it's just that, or I don't know if it's the age group of the fans. I know I talk to y'all, you know, like my fans who are like 25 and up. Again, we love them all, but you have like I feel like the Hyung line is like the favorites of the fans. Because
Right.
even talking to my students, they love, you know, the JKs, the Tays, the Jimins, you know, like the younger group members, especially JK. A lot of them love JK.
Listen,
but
ever since JK got those tattoos, I'm not gonna lie, I've been
You're
thinking
like,
of it in a
hold up.
different light.
Hold on.
Tattoos and those piercings, my weakness.
Like
But-
back when I first started liking BTS, and now I'm forgetting the year. I think it was 2015, 2014. I know it was the dope era. Like JK was the first one I saw, and I was like, "Oh, he's cute! Like he's cute." Then I realized how old he was, and I was like, "Ooh, I can't."
Oh, he's
Like,
my age.
I was like, "Ooh, he's a baby. I can't do that." So I
Yeah,
had to
especially back
migrate.
then. He was a baby.
I had to migrate. I was like, "Oh no!" But recently, I was like, "I still can't do it. You're
He's
still
just-
a baby." Like, you're growing now. I see you.
That's
I
fine.
see you.
It's fine for me though. Like,
yeah.
I'm good here.
Like, so I was like, I'll look at you. I see you over there. That's it. Like, I see you. I'll be one of those grannies flirting with those little young boys over there. I see you. Okay. That's me. But
Like, you go, honey. I know that's right. I ain't mad.
That's me. I'll cheer you. I will tell you you're good looking, but you're gonna have to stay over there.
For my safety, you're gonna have to stay over there.
Yes, you're gonna have to stay over there. So yeah, no, I'll keep my young line real close.
Funny. Did you have a favorite song that was their first time
Disease.
performing? That
Disease.
Yes, mine was Disease and Black Swan. Like, I
Yes.
was just so happy to see Black Swan. It was so
It was
beautiful.
gorgeous.
One of my favorite BTS songs. Like,
Yeah, same. And that was the transition. Was it from Fake Love to Black Swan or Black Swan? I
wasn't
forgot
it
which
like
one.
wait, what was it? Black
was-
Swan, then Blood, Sweat, and Tears, then Fake Love.
Then yeah, it was like that. The Darkness trilogy is what I like to call
because
it.
they did Black Swan on the mini stage, and then they stopped, and then I think they took a break and was like drinking some water, talking,
Yeah.
all that, and then they went up to the main stage, and that's when they did the little thing of like Blood, Sweat, and
Yes.
Tears, and they did Fake Love, because it's also like when they were posing, where I've been seeing a lot of videos of like when they were going to the back, and like I guess they
Yes.
just couldn't wait and started taking their shirts off, and JK was just like, you know what, fuck. I was like, I saw his whole back, and I was like,
Yeah. Yep, no, I will say seeing Blood, Sweat, and Tears performed, because that was the Wings era, and me and the Wings era, oh my god, when I tell you I murdered that CD, like, and you know, back when, you know, I still listened to all the albums on CD, because I wasn't rich enough to get a subscription or anything yet.
oh my god.
I murdered that CD. So like to see Blood, Sweat, and Tears performed, I was like, yay. But Disease, of the new stuff that they put out, I wanted to see Disease so bad.
Yes,
'Cause
same.
I
And it was
love
just the way I
that
saw
song.
it. I also
Yes.
really enjoyed during Telepathy, because like you only saw those in like concert videos, like when they're in Seoul.
Yeah.
That they got on little cards and was like, you know,
Yes.
saying hi to the
That was
audience.
nice.
That was really
was
cute.
nice.
On day 4, I don't know if you saw this, but like there's a video circling around like when Jungkook gets to a certain part, someone threw a rose at him, and he
we
caught
saw
it
that happen.
perfectly.
Like, I saw that. I was like, yo, he got a rose. Like, look at this boy.
And I don't remember which day it was, where I think Jimin's shirt was like a little bit open to where like his chest was showing. And Precious told me it looked like he was opening it up more, but then the screen changed to show someone else.
That was day 4. Because again, the reason why I know is because again, Jimin's wife is sitting next to me, and she was like, "Let us sing it," and I was like, "Girl, if you don't come down,"
I thought your sister and Precious were gonna like start fighting in the car when they said their biases. So I was like, oh my god, no. It's the
Who's
battle
gonna cut out? Who's
for
gonna cut out?
Jimin.
I was like, if you don't get out, she's a mess. She is like, again, he had his like introduction, and she started. I was like, girl,
Like, stop
calm
crying.
down.
Like, I know
Calm
Precious
down.
said, like, when they switched the camera, she was, like, upset. She's like, they're in America now. It's fine. They could do that.
They don't have the one nipple rule here. This isn't music core. We can show both nipples.
Exactly.
It's okay.
It's fine. You know, like, especially during their dark, like, performances. Like,
Yes.
I was looking at Jungkook, I'm like, you know, what's the point of the shirt? You have one button. You might as well just take it off. Just go ahead and take it off. It's fine.
It was doing a lot of work.
And you know, I'm so surprised it held together because the way he be dancing sometimes too. Like the button did a good job, but like at the same time,
we need. Which performance was it that? It was Fake Love, but I forgot where they performed it. Where RM accidentally ripped the button off the show.
Oh yeah, that was at some music show. I always remembered that because they did an army bomb of that.
Yes, they did.
I don't remember what show it was though.
Doing us a good service. That's what he was doing. But yeah, no, I had and then I know everybody. And I don't know how you said you got there right as they were letting everybody in, so you weren't there for soundtrack. So sound check. Again, we were already waiting at our gate at that point, and so we heard the whole thing, and we were all, outside singing, whatever. And, everybody was like, okay, day 2 got Meg. Day 1 didn't get everything.
That. I'm still upset. I like, when I saw those pictures, like, Megan was there in the performing butter, I screamed out, damn it! I was hoping, we gotta get Becky or something. Like, somebody needs to show up for our day. Like, and like, as soon as I saw that, I texted Precious and Zari. I'm like, well, we're getting Coldplay. Not that that's a bad thing, but I was like, once I saw Megan there, I was like, we're getting My Universe. I just know it.
Hey, I'm not mad at that because, again, that song was on replay.
I'm not either, but just like because I'm such a big Megan fan, I was like, not both of my favorites at the same time. Because like that remix is the reason I listened to Butter a lot more than I did.
Okay.
And I was just like, I guess I could just look at the pictures and the videos and watch them be cute together.
I wanted the 3 J's.
Right. And I could watch them not try to stare at Megan as much as I know they wanted to. Like, come on, let's be honest. She's tall, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous. And like, I saw that part where like during Yoongi's verse when he pointed at her saying, got the right body and the right mind. I was like, I know that's right. Right? You better tell the truth. Preach.
Oh my God. I wanted Megan too. Like, I was so sad. I was whatever. But I just wanted somebody. Like I said, I didn't care who it was.
Right. And there were celebrities there. Like, was it day 3 where they showed Halsey showed up?
Halsey was there.
She was in the audience though. I was surprised.
Yes.
Like, I was like, oh, she's not. But then I forgot she like just had a baby. Yeah, I don't know how fresh the baby is, but I know he's still pretty. He's still pretty.
She said, I don't know how fresh the baby is.
He's still pretty brand new into this world, so. But she looked good. She looked great. She did. So.
And
apparently there was a lot more celebrities that like I did not see anybody.
Our night, James Corden was there. Sean Stockman from Boyz II Men was there.
Wow. I saw Max was there.
Max was there our night.
Liam was there.
There was quite a few people. I know they all rolled in right as the concert was starting because they ain't waiting in line.
Oh, they got VIP, that private section. Like, they don't have to.
Right. So I know a bunch of YouTubers that I used to follow way back in the early YouTube days were all there. So it was we had quite a few people show up for night 4.
Right.
But I was like it's the last night. I was like, first, it's Jin's birthday, so if I don't see him cry, I'm gonna be disappointed. And second,
we gotta talk about that too once you're done.
Oh, for sure. And second, I was like, if we don't get a guest on the last day, while I'm gonna be a little disappointed, but it's the last day. We gotta get somebody.
I mean, it was the last day and they were also streaming it. So like, of course.
Yes. But what I was saying earlier with the sound check is every song that they were doing for sound check was mad loud. Like, we could hear it outside. Then they started with the U, and we all were like, it's my U. And then they turned that volume down mad low. And I was like, that's a little suspicious. Like, are we getting...
Someone fucked up there. They're like, oh crap, that was supposed to be a surprise.
Yo, I was like, are we getting this? Is Chris or Coldplay, all of them gonna be here? Right. And then lo and behold,
towards the very end, I almost was kind of like, oh, are we not getting Coldplay?
Right,
because they did like permission to dance and like... I don't know if they left or not, and then the lights went out, and then I heard it and saw the lights, like, okay. Yes. But, like, I was getting a little suspicious. I was like, they just did permission to dance. Is it over?
And see, the thing is that I think it was your friend, and I forgot which one said it, but she saw the planets blown up in the back. And I did too, but again, my I don't know how to put two and two together. I was like, oh, they're gonna have balloons.
You're fine.
I was like, oh my God. But then when she said it, I was like, oh, you're right. Like, it didn't even click. Like, duh, there's
My universe.
There's planets back there. So we're good. I was so excited to just be there. It did not. I couldn't put two and two together.
Because I didn't even talk about like my experience of them like announcing it and like texting all you guys. Like, I really want to go. I had my own panic, like, and like self-doubt of like, I know we're going through like COVID. Should I really be going? Like, I know too. I'm safe. I'm vaccinated.
Like, if I die, I'll
but
die
like
happy. Is pretty much how I justified me going to this concert. If
like, I don't want to feel judged.
Will die happy.
And you got my dad over here when I finally asked him, like, why do you want to go to LA to see BTS? Didn't you already see them again? And why do you want to go to LA? Like, it's dirty. It's crowded. It's like,
dang, he really let you have it. He said it's dirty.
He was so like, why? Why is this girl wasting her time at Buddy? And I was like, well, why not? I barely really honestly spend my money on anything else. Facts, so like, it's just that rare time where it's like something I really want to do. So like, if I'm determined, I will find a way. And thankfully, Precious was like, you know, she had tickets for Map of the Soul to take her sister, because her sister was like a bigger fan before Precious even really got into them. That's how she got into them. Once the announcement happened, I think she was saying Zaria was crying. She's like, Zaria, I am taking you there no matter what. So,
oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely, it's something. I did the same thing. I was like, am I really going to skip? I have to skip school. It's the week after Thanksgiving. Like,
right. And I didn't know if I was going to get time off work because I was going to request the week of Thanksgiving off to go see my brother in Charlotte. So it was like, I'm basically taking 2 weeks off for no pay because I don't work long enough to get like paid vacation.
Right.
So it was worth it though. I don't care.
And what really put it in for me, I was like, I don't know when I'm ever gonna, if we're ever gonna be able to see them again. Like, because honestly, I was like, we're in a friggin' pandemic. People, it's not getting any better, at least here. So I was like, I'm gonna take the chance, and like the good old Rocky quote, if I die, I die, or like if he dies, he dies. That's pretty much what it was going.
Like, let me see my luck for tickets, and if I get tickets, and then that, even like Precious's parents was like kind of against it, but when she saw like I actually got tickets, they're like, oh, like they're really going. And we're like, yeah.
That's kind of how I did it too. I was like, if I get the tickets, it's meant to be. If I don't get the tickets, then it's okay. That's pretty much what I said. If I'm gonna try, if I get them, I get them. If I don't, I don't.
Like, I'll be upset. I'll cry a little. I'll watch. I'll see if I can like, because like that's another thing too. I haven't been able to watch the virtual concerts they've been having because they always happen when I have to be at work. So like, and I work in the mornings now. So like by the time they start, I am awake, but I'm getting ready for work. And by the time they're over, I'm arriving at work.
Yep. And same. It's like, I can't wake up at 3 a.m. to watch this concert. It's not, I'm not built like that anymore.
Not anymore. I did that for Map of the Soul 1 and like, when did that happen? Yeah, I wasn't really working, so like I had time to do that. So
I can't do it anymore. So
even for that, me and Macy were kind of like, why are we crazy enough to wake up at 2:00 in the morning to watch this concert?
Yeah, and it's not the same. Like, it's which one did I watched one? It was the free one that they had put on a while ago where you could hook up your army bomb.
Yeah, before they did one to test it out. Wasn't it no. Wasn't it called Bong Bong Con?
Yes. And it was like free, and they were like, sign up here, you can use your army bomb. I watched that one. And it wasn't the same. Was it the one they were showing on YouTube of past concerts?
That was still called
the past cons. I think it was still Bang Bang Con. I think it was still. I think it was. Because you could go, I think it was. Because you went onto the site, you registered your or you didn't register. You just clicked on something and you did your Bluetooth to your thing, and and I remember people were like, "Oh my God, here I am in my room with my army bomb, like ready for this concert," and it was actually lighting up, and it was so cute. Yeah. And I mean, I'm by myself, and again, this was still in the middle of the pandemic, so you couldn't invite people. You know, people weren't inviting each other over, and so it just felt so lonely. It's like, here I am, me and my dog and BTS, with my army bomb just by myself. So it's not the same for me. If I had like a group and we were all watching it together, it might be a little bit different. I've gone to see the movies like with my sister with our army bombs, like in the theater, like, and it's fun when you're with a group, but sitting by myself watching a concert at 2 a.m. is probably not the best thing to do.
Yeah, I think around that time, like, even though I like tease Macy, like I am glad she introduced me to them because we get to do that stuff together. And I know a lot of people aren't able to do that. I mean, that was before she moved. So I can't really do that now. But like when she lived in the same area and even just like when she was only an hour away from me, like if something like that happened, like I can go drive to her and we can go see the movie together or like stay in her apartment or her house and watch them online like at 2:00 in the morning. So
we're diehard fans here. So, you know.
I say never again. I always say this, and I said this for MetLife, never again. I said this for the online concert, never again. I'm saying this for LA, never again. When that announcement comes up for the world tour, I'm like, where's my wallet?
Like I said, like you just said, I'm never going to LA again or whatever. The moment they only do a concert and it's the only stop is LA, I'm going to be there.
Flights. Let me check the times, these prices.
Yep. Well, let's see. God. All right, what day is it? How many days am I going to have to take off work is pretty much it.
God, so it's like sad when we say this out loud, but like it's an experience. So like when you look back on it, it's fun.
Yes.
And then at the same time, you're kind of like, wow, you're crazy.
Yes.
But it all goes with the experience.
And people were thinking, like, you're flying all the way to LA to go. Yes, I am.
People used to do a lot more for a lot less back in the days,
Thank
okay?
You. Yep. So, yes, I am. And again, I think it's the fact that they're a Korean group. And again, like you said, people underestimate how many people like them. It's like, yeah, you would fly to wherever to go see the Beatles or John Bon Jovi or whoever, you know, Madonna or whatever.
Justin Bieber, Britney Spears,
Beyonce, all of them. You guys would fly. It's the same thing. Just because they don't live here, I'm still flying wherever I need to go see them, you know?
I can't afford to go to Korea to see them. And rules are different there, so I don't know. But like when they come here, I'm like, oh, bet I'm going.
Yes.
So.
Oh, yeah. And again, it's a different time now. And sadly, I don't see us getting out of this. So we're going to have to make a way. But, you know, if they come here, I'm not going to miss the chance. That's the reason why, you know, with every concert that has decided to come here or come back, I've bought tickets to, with the exception of twice because it's too close. Everybody dropped their concert dates way too close to each other. So please, y'all, spread it out. My wallet is crying.
They're like, we were also stuck in the house 2020. So like we have to make up the lost time.
Yes, it was BTS, then Eric, and now ATEEZ. I'm like, ooh, I can't fit twice in there.
ATEEZ. I really wanted to go. I just don't think I have time. I don't have the money.
What am I doing? I'm flying to a different state to go to ATEEZ. So it's like, it's a lot. But you know, it's exciting. I enjoyed that concert so much. And again, that was the first time I had been around that many people since. Actually, Eric Nam's concert was the last one I went to before the world ended.
Yeah, same with me. That was both of our last concerts.
Right.
It wasn't as big, but it's just like that concert experience of people seeing their favorites. That
many people, right? To see to see somebody like you said you like. It was the first time, and it was so nice to just be out and to be around people who love the same thing. To sing songs, you know, that
you used to always listening to like in your headphones and sing them out loud with like other people, and then like you get to watch them freak out. Horribly. Girl, don't bring up karaoke. We did so bad. I'm ready for round 2 though. I am ready.
I mean, whenever you're ready, we can have our own little concert.
We'll do more BTS songs though, because we didn't do as many when we went.
We didn't. And we weren't used to that setup yet, so
yes, we didn't know how to work it. But now that we know, I'm ready.
Yes, I'm here for it. We can sing UGG again and get 99% because we
no, we got 100. Remember, we got 100 on UGG. Yes, that was the only song we got 100 on.
They didn't do their subgroup songs. I mean, kudos to them because some of them went hard for 3 hours, 2 hours. I mean,
and they did all OT7 songs, and they said like being back, they wanted to do group songs, which like I give kudos to them. Yes, and like the songs 100%. That they did too, you know, a lot of it had hard choreography. I mean, they didn't do choreography for all of them, but the ones that they did,
they went hard. They went, and they had shout out to the lab for showing up and doing permission to dance and doing all the choreos that required, you know, large groups of people. They really came out and they put their heart and soul into this. And it was so apparent, and it was so nice to see that it meant a lot for them to be in front of fans again. And, like I said, we did the Jin thing. Shout out to all the armies who, it had to have taken hours.
Yes, and I'm upset I got there late because I guess the gate that I got into, that's when the girl was giving out the thing. So also shout out to that army who planned that whole thing. So
there were two. There was one that did the black army bomb cover.
Yes, for the moon, and then the heart
and
ones.
Then the heart with Jin's name in it. We saw her out there for hours with boxes. 5, 6 boxes, and she was just making sure everybody got one. It was so nice. And like I said,
that's the first time I was like in a concert space, like celebrating like the artist I'm seeing's birthday. Like that was pretty cool. And like he was so emotional. Like I remember when he first saw, I don't know what he saw first, if it was the hearts.
Moons.
Was it the moons
first?
Then when did he see the hearts? I think JK actually pointed out the hearts to him.
Which one? I know. Wait, when they came out dressed in white first, right?
So it was after they did like maybe.
It was the hearts first, I think. It was the hearts that they saw first, and then they saw the moons, because I remember that. He was dressed in full white, and they came out dressed in full white first for the hearts. So yeah, it was nice. It was so sweet. And like he said, he's like, I didn't want to get emotional because, I still had a whole concert to go. And then
like, I don't think I ever saw him that emotional. Like I saw it when they showed him. I was like, oh my God, he's already like getting teared up.
And then he came out there with his little RJ tied to his head, and that's when they did the moon, and he was just like,
and then that's when we successfully did the army wave better than day 3.
Oh yes, let's bring that up.
Oh God.
I would again like to reinstate that I was there day 4, so we didn't screw up as much as day 3.
I don't know why we couldn't get this down. So first of all, I was almost kind of like with MetLife with the confusion of the lights. So like when they were talking about, we're going to do like the wave, I need you to get your light.
The camera light, right? Yeah.
Well, I think he just said, I need you to get your lights out. And then some people were getting their camera lights out. And he's like, I meant your army bombs. And that brought me back to MetLife when we were going to do microchroma. So you remember that where he's like, put up your lights. We all put up our army bombs. And he's like, I meant on your phone. And we're like,
we're not good at following instructions.
Yo, we're really not. We all really do share like one brain cell. And it's amazing. Like, I don't have to know you. But like, for some reason in this setting, we all share one brain cell.
Yep, 100%.
But, like on day 3, and like I don't know if we were even practicing before or not, because you know how sometimes when like during
when we're
the
waiting,
very beginning, or like when we're waiting during like the animation before like the the what is it called, the
PCRs?
encore, we just do it randomly. At least here in America, I don't know if any other places they go to do it randomly. I just know every time in America, for some reason,
we love to do the wave a little bit too much. Any sporting event, we gotta do the wave. Anything, we're in a group of people with lights, we gotta do or just people. We gotta do the wave.
Like,
yeah, it's a thing. It's just and the woos go like, I don't know why. It's like built into us at this point. But I will say too, and again, I'm offering y'all a defense because I don't know what day 3 was like, but on day 4, it's hard to see. And again, this is different from MetLife. MetLife, we could look up and see all you could see the people above us. For SoFi, I don't know how it looked from the people below us, but we, up to a certain point, could not see. Like once it reached like maybe the middle of the stage area, the lights disappeared and we were just going off of woos. Like when it got closer to us, like you just kind of had to assume. So that could have possibly been it, but you floor people, you had no excuse.
Like I could see the people in my like section in the same section around the thing, but like, and obviously I'm higher up so I could see the floor. So I don't know if the people looking up could do the same or not. But like I remember when they first started, you know how they give us instructions like, okay, we're going to start on this side and go all the way around. So like when we count down, get ready. And then some people actually started before. They're like, no, wait, you guys gotta wait until we tell you to go. So like, of course, they turn off the lights and then they count down and then they start. And then at first it was fine, but then like for some reason, like the floor started going faster and then like the 500 started slowing down, and the middle was like, I don't know where the middle was. And you could kind of hear it in the voices. They're like, come on, Army, like you guys can do it. And then we finished There's more sections higher up than you guys. So maybe this next time, just to slow down a little bit. So we'll start on the other side. Let's see if the other side can, and then we'll go back around. So then like we do it again, and like it was, I don't know how it got worse, but like it just got worse. And like I feel like it took the 500 section like 5 minutes to start. Again, started off well, and then like the floor kind of just went, and then it was like the 100. So it was kind of like a weird like way following each other. Right. And then like tsunami. And then like you could just see it on their faces, and then like some of them were making noises. And what got me laughing so hard was like Namjoon kind of took a second. He did that like awkward smile he does sometimes. He sighed. He's like, okay, anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and move on. And when I tell you, when he said that so passive aggressively, I wanted to die. I couldn't stop laughing. I was literally like hunched over because I was laughing so hard. And
it was the okay anyway. It was the
okay anyway. Let's move on. That got me because it's like when you have little kids and like they just show you stuff randomly. You kind of have to sit there like, oh, that was cute. Okay, I saw it in that light. So like, I thought it was cute, but like I just never saw them so like passively aggressively disappointed. Oh, so funny. I'll never forget that.
Day 4 when they got to that, again, we all kind of knew what happened. Day 3, we're like, ooh, all right, let's not mess this up, guys.
It was so bad. I don't know what it was like for day 1 and day 2, to the floor. It was so hilarious.
Bad. Oh, it was great. He told that floor specifically, like, y'all, don't go too fast.
He was traumatized from 3-3. He's like, okay, floor, we discussed this yesterday. Slow down.
Yo. Oh my God. It was great. It was such a good night. It was such a good night.
But yes, let's get it. So we did that. And then I wasn't expecting it either because I didn't know if the stadium or like high/big hit planned anything for Jiz. But like you hear it on my phone too. Like after I kind of film like all the waves like finishing at the end. And then all of a sudden it lights up Happy Jin Day. I just screamed like, Happy Jin Day.
Yeah, that was so cute.
And like everyone was so confused and we all just start like screaming and then like singing happy birthday to him. I was like, oh, this is so sweet.
That was sweet. It was so cute. It was such a nice, and I'm glad again that we got to do that for him. And then of course the next day, what does he throw out? Super tuna!
Super tuna! Go straight to super tuna!
He is so lucky that came out the day after the concert, because had it come out during concert time, I think he would have been so, I mean, as crazy and probably like, why in the world did I throw this on the internet that he is right now? Yeah. It would have been crazier there.
I still think he's like, why did I put this song out? Because I don't know if he knew it was going to blow up as it did. Like, it's insane.
At this point, and this is another thing I'm going to say about them. We stand our humble kings, but don't y'all start Namjoon, I got a bone to pick with you about saying, like, I didn't think we'd, like, you've been on social media. You know how we are. Don't you show up there and say, I didn't think we'd be loved or nobody would show up. God. I'm like, bro, did you not see Ticketmaster trending about how pissed off we are that tickets can't be, like, we're like, bro, don't come here with this. I love I don't know if I should say that's humble or is that like, you know, you have backhanded compliments. It wasn't like rude. It was like a humble brag.
I don't think it was a backhanded compliment. I really think he meant that.
It's like a humble brag, but still coming off as humble. Like, maybe I shouldn't have said backhanded compliment, but it's like, it's a humble brag while he was crying and still trying to
when they talk, like, I could tell they really mean it. And I'm like,
yes.
Do you guys, I mean, I understand your start, how you got here was rough, but do you see where you are now? Like, the main reason a lot of people love you guys is because you are humble, but then sometimes it's kind of like, do you know who you are? You guys used to ask all the time, do you know BTS? Do you know BTS?
Yes, I was like, do you know BTS? Exactly. Do you know? And I feel like, and I'm going to bring up, again, no spoilers to Spider-Man, but what MJ says all the time, if you expect disappointment, then you know, when it happens, you won't be disappointed. Maybe it's a little bit of that. Like, if you expect the worst, then when the worst happens, you won't be disappointed. Like, I know fame is fleeting, but you can't tell me in the past year getting number one on Billboard however many times, getting Grammy nominations,
getting the record for most YouTube views twice, not
in
once,
1 year.
twice.
And now you're still saying, like, I didn't think we'd like get out of here, but boy, if you don't move, like
I remember us talking about this in the car.
Because I know I sat there, and I think in my video I have him saying that on video. I said, "No, really?"
Yeah, I screamed that, like, when he said that. I was like, "No."
Yeah, no, get out of here with that. Oh, I didn't. I love you, and keep that humility. Right. But you know we would show out for this. You know we're showing up.
Especially the new fans you guys magically gather from Dynamite,
yes,
Butter, and Permission to Dance.
Yep.
Like, it's just out of this world at this point.
Yes. Oh yeah. Like I said, and I think pretty much everyone I sat next to was a new army.
Really?
Like the girl from Australia, pretty sure she was a new army. The girl on the other side of my sister, relatively new army. I think she said she was, I still consider Dynamite like a new army.
I mean, I don't even know if I'm really considered new at this point anymore or not.
Where were you? You were still in Love Yourself era. If you went to MetLife,
yeah, I was 2018.
You're not a pandemic army, put it that way.
Okay, I was late 2018.
Yeah, you're not a so there's pandemic. That's what I consider new armies are the pandemic armies. The ones who got into BTS with their English songs primarily and with Dynamite.
Because like they were still kind of, when I got into them, they were kind of, still kind of blowing up in America, but not to this extent that they are at now.
They were just like, oh, there's something cool going on across the seas. Let's invite them.
People were kind of like talking about them like, oh, BTS, like this is kind of new. Like we should invite them over and stuff like that.
It was like, oh, wow, all I got is YouTube I can use right now to find it. and again, as an older army, and again, as a multi-stan, it's, and I said this in our not last, or maybe it didn't, one of the podcasts that I was in, it's been such a cool thing to see the growth that K-pop has had since I've gotten into it, which again was back in like the 2009, 2010 era to now. I mean, you can't even compare. Like I was telling you,
y'all had to like search. I didn't talk about this when me and Macy did like 21, because like I was saying some stuff of like things that came out that never showed the light of day. And like I keep forgetting, like it was almost kind of hard if you weren't in Korea to really find this stuff. Not even just like the technology that we had, but like
crazy shipping prices. Put it that way. I mean, not that that's changed a lot, but there was no like U.S. store, right? Like there was no U.S. store where you could pay still $20 in shipping, but at least it wasn't $50. Like, you know, or
like you couldn't go into Walmart to find like a K-pop album.
God,
like
no.
Walmart. Who would have thought?
Oh my God, no. So, and it was funny. I was talking to my friend Kaylin, who stands ATEEZ. That's her old group, and we were talking about how back in the day when Pandora was our primary source of music.
And you brought that up on the when we first introduced you, I believe, because I asked you how you got into K-pop.
Yes, that was it. Like you didn't know. It was back before learning names and learning groups. It was just like, oh, it would show up, and again, it was BoA that would show up for me, and then I made a BoA station. Then you had Girls Gen 21. All these groups would show up, and I didn't even make the connection, the difference between Japanese and Korean. It was just like, oh, this is cool.
Right.
And I will say, I knew who G-Dragon was, knew Big Bang, knew all of those big groups, because as an anime fan, you kind of mix in with like K-pop and that stuff. A lot of anime fans love K-pop, and for the reason of when you listen to anime openings, at least back when Pandora was a thing, you'd get recommendations for
because that's when
K-pop.
they all kind of group basically every East Asian thing together.
All the Asian people, all the anime lovers will like this, And I mean, I was talking to Kaylin, and she's like, remember when you had to go to LimeWire to download any type of music? I mean, that was true for American stuff too, but to find K-pop stuff, you couldn't go onto iTunes, and you couldn't go onto, now I'm aging myself, Rhapsody and find these songs. Like you really had to deep dive and go onto the illegal websites to find them. And it really wasn't until Psy with Gangnam Style that it started to be like, what's going on over there for a lot of Americans and inviting them over. Like I said, I will never forget, I think it was 2012, don't quote me, when Girls' Gen went on to David Letterman and performed The Boys. And I was like, what? Oh my God, that was huge.
Right.
So it's so awesome to be able to to just say to people, oh, I'm going to a BTS concert. And again, you'll have the handful like, who? Or, oh, wow, they're actually performing here.
Or like and the Korean group, right?
Right. They know, like,
I get that all the
Asian
time
boys
from like,
you love. The Chinese boys you love.
My God.
They're Korean, but sure. Actually, that happened to me this past week. God bless her. I love her. One of the people I work with, she was like, oh, are those Chinese boys? And my heart just went, yeah, the Korean guys.
At least I'm around people where at least they know they're Korean, so like they'll just say Korean boys, and I'm like, well, actually, these are grown-ass men, but sure.
Thank you.
First
right,
of all,
exactly. I was like, I don't let that one go because I love my job. So it was the Korean guys. Yeah, I do. God. Just like, all right, whatever. At least you got the continent, I guess. They're Asian. They're over there.
East Asian.
Close enough.
Okay.
They're close enough.
Oh God, so many things.
Yeah, that was an interesting one, but it's been so. I never would have thought back in 2015, 2014, getting into BTS that I would have been able to go to 2 of their concerts. Again, never would have thought outside of KCON and random little events that they have that they would be performing here, doing tours sold out.
Right. And stadiums, like football stadiums.
Beating out Bruce, or did they beat Bruce Springsteen's record? I forgot what that was of the amount of money made in.
I heard they beat someone's record, but I didn't hear.
I think they're just under Bruce Springsteen. But again, Bruce Springsteen did multiple shows all around the country. This is 4 days. So that's saying something in one location. Right. I mean, who would have thought? If you had asked anybody a few years ago, would this have happened? I think everybody would have looked at you and been like, nah. It was a segmented group of people. And now you pretty much everybody, unless you live under a rock, which apparently there's still people that do, knows at least BTS. And I'm glad and I'm happy to see all these other groups coming and trying to, like Monsta X has been doing a lot of stuff. NCT's been trying to come and break it up. Obviously with Super M, they've been trying to come in. I love it. I love it. And here's to all of it.
It's fun. Right. And I feel like it also is starting to open up, like, where we can just start enjoying music, not even just in K-pop, but like just in other languages. Yes. Like we're starting to be more open to that. So I would like award shows to reflect on that as well, but we're not going to get into that. But like, I also
that's a whole other podcast.
That's a whole other podcast. Me and Nafis kind of did that briefly. We talked about it briefly last year with the results of the Grammys with BTS, but we'll see. We'll see.
Got another chance coming up in what? Is it January or February?
I don't know. I know for a fact I probably ain't gonna watch it. I don't watch award shows. I don't care really for award shows.
Unless BTS is gonna be on there. Or other groups. I see these other groups popping on and hopefully getting invited. We'll see.
Yeah, I didn't watch the AMAs that just happened. I just saw little clips online because no, I didn't.
I was switching back and forth. Again, I wasn't expecting them to perform My Universe so early, so that was nice. But I knew after My Universe, they're not going to play them again until the end.
Megan wasn't able to show up for that, so I wonder if they were able to perform Butter at the AMAs if she wouldn't have shown up to their concerts.
I don't know.
Not like it matters because I missed her both anyway, but I'm just saying.
She's still a little upset.
My 2 favorites at the same place. I know. And I just
sounds like you're gonna have to go to Megan when is she on tour right now or whenever she goes on tour? Hopefully.
I don't know. I know some people in her team when she was doing Jingle Ball got COVID, so like she had to stop all that. So that's another thing. Like I know with Jingle Ball, I've been seeing a lot of artists. Like I know that happened with Doja Cat, a couple others too. Like people around them, like the staff or somebody's been getting COVID. So like a lot of them have stopped Jingle Ball, and I think. One Jingle Ball itself, like the whole show, they had to cancel it because, So it's
Side note, not BTS related, sorry. But CL, if you don't tour in the States,
scream it to
for
the universe.
love of God, if you would just, and I mean, I think they did announce it earlier that she was going to be at Jingle Ball, and somehow I missed that announcement.
I remember you texted me too. You were debating
my wallet at you. To go to, oh my God, I would have gone to that Jingle Ball. And only gone to you. And I don't really, apparently she wasn't she wasn't on the main stage. She was on a stage, like a side outside.
Stage, yeah.
Which I'm like, could I have just walked up to that? Or
I don't know.
Could I have just
you should have went to see.
I would have taken one of those blasted scooters all the way down to SoFi just to see you. Please, I know you're not listening to this, but please tour in the US and please come to at least Florida. I don't care where. You could go to Jacksonville. I'll drive 3 hours to come see you.
Honestly, if anyone usually comes here, the destination is usually Miami
or Orlando or Tampa-ish.
Yeah, a lot of people go to Tampa for some reason.
Yeah, which again, Tampa's not the greatest, y'all, so please don't stop going over. Sorry to all the Tampa listeners. I love you. It's only a 2.5 hour drive to Orlando. Please, we got Disney. Just come to Orlando.
We got Disney. We got Universal. We
if you're gonna
we
go
got
to Miami,
Public subs, guys.
Right.
Publix, the chicken
subs.
tender subs.
Sorry, other side note. I know I'm getting so off track. This is what happens when I come on here. Wonho, what was your ass doing in a Publix? Did you see those photos?
No, I did not. What are you? Bruh. I saw the videos I saw the pictures of my brother of him posting Wonho on his story, pretending like didn't I send you that picture? My brother loves Wonho. He don't listen to any of his music. He just loves like him on Instagram.
I mean, one of the teachers at my school loves, like, she was like, I saw him online, and she came to our club during the pandemic year last year, and she would eat lunch in our room and watch videos, and she'd be like, how is he so gorgeous? And I bought her an album for her birthday, and she's got his poster in her room, in her classroom. It's my favorite thing. I love her. But I'm pretty sure it was Wonho, or maybe not. Maybe I'm confusing. I don't know.
Where would he have had time to go to a Publix?
Oh my God, maybe not. Hold on. Hold on. I'll have to find it and I'll send you. It might not have been Wonho. I'm getting all my artists confused because I just panic when I get on Instagram and I like a bunch of stuff. And so,
speaking of Instagram and going back to BTS real quick before we wrapped up, because we've been here forever.
We've been here for a while.
We've been here for a long. BTS on Instagram.
That made those accounts. I have been obsessively. It is my now pastime to go on there. And I can only get notifications for RM, which again, not complaining.
I can't get notifications for any of them.
Just RM and Tay.
It's for people I don't care about. Like, I turn on no offense. No, all offense. I turn on notifications for them specifically, and it tells me, oh, so-and-so that you follow post. Did I turn on your notification? No, I used to go on this app once every 6 months. Okay.
What, Instagram?
Oh, girl, there was a time where I was debating of really just deleting my account. I'm glad I didn't, but like I barely go on Instagram. I post maybe once a year.
Well, between that's why you hold thirst trap photos, and
that's
now
why you
BTS?
Mostly handle our social media, especially the Instagram, because like I said, I'm barely on there, and like I'm glad like me and Hyungi are on the same page. Like unless we have to be on there, we're not on there. Me, him, and Jimin.
But hey, it's actually you and Jimin now. I don't know what his deal was. Like, people were like, oh my God, he found his password, y'all, because he's now posting stuff. But
he's barely on Weavers
Jimin,
either,
like,
to be
show
honest.
Some love. But no, that's been the greatest thing in my life right now. Again, all I get the notifications for Tay and for RM. Anytime I get them, I just
let's not talk about Tay on Instagram, because someone actually might need to take his password away. And he is the personification of, posted, look cute, might delete later, and it actually deletes it.
Deletes it later.
And it's like, bro.
Well, he posts all his thirst traps in story. He knows at least what to do. Like, he's doing that. Again, greatest.
One more time, I'm going to pass out. Like, I don't understand how Taehyung's biases are surviving.
Right? I'm like, my boy out here, J-Hope, is that aesthetic. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think he'd throw out those aesthetic pages, but I'm here for it.
Right. And then Namjoon is literally aesthetic. How I expected it to be, with like honestly, his nature museum, Namjooning, all that.
Education,
so,
like books, like I'm here. I'm here for this. I love it.
And then there's JK, who...
You mean A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I... Elemental PQRCZ.
I was like, what is with this long username?
Yes. I didn't get it at first. I had to really stare at it, and I was like,
I got it immediately. I'm like, no, don't tell me. This boy sat here with the whole English alphabet and took out JK. I mean, genius, but like...
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, mad creative. I love J-Hope and his little... It took me again, I'm very slow. Took me a hot second to realize what his was. Like, you are my hope, but armies so in the middle. I was like, that's so cute. Yeah, no, I am here for it.
I also think Jin forgot his password also, because Jin...
Yeah. Oh, he did post his... Is it him and his dad? That picture the other day?
I thought that was...
nobody lost their password longer than Jimin. I don't know what his deal was. I was like, got 2 photos out of him, and he was like, deuces, bye. I'm like, all right.
He just posted, I think, today, so like...
Yes, he's some Charlie Brown stuff,
and Suga's back on his. I guess he just got back home.
Yes.
So he posted his hair that's growing out, and his is named like Augusty. I was like, yeah, I expected that.
That's cute. I was like, I got you. Yep.
But I never looked on a day. Like, when they're like going on breaks, I'm like, this isn't a break for the fans.
No.
I remember seeing a tweet, they're like, what is your definition of a break? This isn't a break.
They did say they're going on a break. They never said we are not going on a break. They just dropped, as of the airing or of us recording this, their Christmas.
Yes, for their Butter Holiday remix.
Yeah, Butter Holiday remix, yep.
I'm not gonna lie, out of all the remixes for their English songs, that one's my favorite. I've actually been jamming out to the Holiday remix.
And I actually liked the Permission to Dance Holiday remix. And I'm not a huge fan of remixes across
especially
the board
holiday
for all
ones.
of K-pop. Yeah, but those were pretty I was like, okay. I see y'all.
Especially like during the instrumental, the little like what's the instrument? Are those saxophones or like you got that like jazz feeling for the Butter? I was like, okay.
I liked it. I was like, okay, I can listen to this remix. I got you. So yeah, no, them joining Instagram. I'm glad they finally, outside of Weverse and outside of which I still finally can't
use. It's just, I mean, I use Weverse. I get like my notifications blow up, but like I just.
It's not my favorite hard platform. To use. Yeah, it's not my favorite. But I hop on there every once in a while, and I'm like, oh, okay. Or I mean, I follow enough Instagram and Twitter accounts that I see all the Weverse stuff
and
anyway.
That's the thing, because like with the Instagram and Weverse, it doesn't matter because I gotta go back on Twitter to get the translation. So it's like, is there a point of me really having all these apps? I could see them for myself, I could like them for myself, but I still gotta go back to Twitter to see what they said.
Yep. My Korean is still not strong enough to be able to translate them on my own.
Listen, I have to take a break because like I just don't have time. I don't have time.
I do not either. Again, it now would be the time for me to hop back on that, but then again, I hop back on the studying, and then I got to go back to school.
Right.
And then I lose the 3 months to school, and then summer comes, and I got 3 months, and it's just I don't have a set dedicated time.
And every time I would take the classes that are offered from Orlando, like since they've been Zoom lately, like I would join like maybe the first 2 weeks, then I'd have to stop because of work.
Yeah. I can't, like, even before this, online is not the best way to learn. That's why all the shout out to every one of you guys who did any kind of schooling online last year. Because
I finished my degree last year online,
I don't know how. I don't know how either. If this had happened when I was in college, I would have died. Just to be honest with you, I couldn't do it. It's hard, it's stressful, so you guys killing that, finishing your degrees or starting your degrees or continuing your degrees and not degrees, going to high school, middle school, whatever, all of that online, shout out to you because that's rough. I can't do it. So I'm here for all of it. Good on BTS. Thank you for joining Instagram and giving me a reason to check my phone every day like I don't already do that.
Right.
Please start doing interviews. If you could do that, BuzzFeed Thirst Tweets interview, that'd be great. Actually, don't do that.
I'm a little scared for that because, like,
don't do it.
Don't
It'd be
do
scary.
it. It'd be a little scary, but like it's not like they probably don't see this stuff already,
right? But well, to read it out online.
And to understand, especially like if it's an English comment, like I don't know if it would translate the same, but like
you watched again. Side note: Wonho's Thirst Tweet. They took care of that. They took care of that. It was funny.
I don't know if my heart would be able to handle that.
The secondhand embarrassment I would get from watching them read these tweets would be astronomical. I don't think I could do it. But it would still be entertaining.
Yes.
10 out of 10.
All right, well, we've been here forever, so we should probably go ahead and wrap
we'll
up.
let y'all go now. We're done fangirling until part 2.
Yes. Real quick, I do have a question for you. In either future concerts or this concert, is there? Well, I guess just future ones. Is there a dream song of any song from past albums, so we'll say before the Love Yourself era, that you would wish they perform, whether it's a solo song or, well, probably it's going to be a group song, let's be honest. But do you have any that they haven't done in a while that you would want to see in person?
Now you're going to put me on the spot. You're not going to remember the names. And I know the songs. I can sing them to you. I'm not going to. Autumn Leaves.
Yes.
Would be one.
Hold Me Tight, especially too.
Thank
for
you.
that
That's
same
it.
one.
That's my
song. I've been listening to that a lot.
Obviously.
Well, I said past, so like
past
before,
ciphers, all of them. All the ciphers.
I'm probably never going to see a cipher in my life.
We're never going to see a cipher. Sad. Honestly, again, knock on wood. I think that, but yeah, Autumn Leaves, Hold Me Tight, any of the ciphers. I don't think they performed a 21st Century Girl.
I was just going to break that up. I actually really want to see 21st Century Girl.
I used to just play that song all the time. Honestly, anything. I know Jin would agree with me maybe, but RM and the rest of them would not. We Are Bulletproof, not Eternal.
Part 2.
We Are Bulletproof Part 2. No More Dream. We gotta see the adult. Come on. We gotta see the adult BTS going out there doing No More Dream. It would be great.
I was trying to look real quick if there's songs like they just real quick. They already do all these all the time. I think that's pretty much it, to be honest.
Not Today.
They did that at MetLife though.
Did they?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. They did. But I want to see like the real Not Today. Like with all the dancers.
There is one song that's, I say it's like a BTS song, but it's not really a BTS song that I know I will never, ever see in person.
Don't you say it. Is it the one I'm thinking?
What are you thinking?
Nah, go ahead and say what you're going to say. I'm not going to say it.
Come Back Home.
Oh, okay. No, it's not that one.
What do you think I was going to say?
It's going to remit. Nope.
Okay.
It's a forbidden request that.
Now I'm curious. Maybe tell me once we're done recording.
It's an old army request. I'll tell you when we get off.
Okay. I would really like to see Come Back Home, even though I know I would never, ever see it.
I do love Come Back Home.
I would like to see some things from like Dark and Wild. Maybe let's get Second Grade back up here.
Second Grade. Yeah. I would love to see
Hip Hop Filet.
Yes.
Danger.
What did you say? What did you call it?
What?
What did you call it?
Oh, what?
Nah, say what you said earlier.
I said Danger.
No, the hip hop one. What'd you say?
How do you say it?
It's File.
Is it really File?
I was like, hip hop filet.
I always say filet.
Please keep saying that. It's my favorite.
It was like, why is it called File?
Somebody's hungry. Go to Chick-fil-A. That's what you want.
Shut up. Anyway. Well, that's really embarrassing because I think when we played the game, I called it filet. Oops, my bad.
It's great. No, that is now the official name.
Well, I call it hip hop filet. So also another song off that album that's very unpopular that I would really like to see, but like I feel like it would come even to this day was the one that Could You Turn Off Your Cell Phone. I really like that song.
I liked it. Yeah, that was a good one.
And
Turn Off Your Cell Phone's good.
And Look Here.
Honestly, this whole album was
right. Let's just have a Dark and Wild again, like that and The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, and I'll be fine. And some School Love Affair. Let's throw that in there as well.
House of Cards. I keep forgetting to say that. House of Cards would definitely love to see them perform that again because I loved that song. Yeah, did they do Converse High?
Oh God, Converse High.
Converse That's my song. I love that song.
Yes.
Just honestly, all of it. I just, if
we're gonna really throw it back, I would also like to hear, We On from the Oh Are You Late Too?
Yes. They did play that. Well, they played the music video. So I loved how they did that. I will go back to that. Before the concert started, before they came out, they did a rundown.
Oh, see, every time I got there, it was like earlier stuff. So I think the last time, like the music video that was playing that I remember seeing both days when we got there was like probably Fire and On.
Oh, no, when we got in, they were playing all of them.
I don't think they played On or Black Swan music video, did they? Now that I think about it.
Because they were performing that. They stopped at...
Well, they also performed Fire and showed Fire.
That's true. I don't know.
And Boy With Love. And Permission to Dance, and Butter.
You're right. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. But they did show, like, I think they showed On, or not On. No. They didn't do, obviously, like, War of Hormone, because reasons.
I don't know what the hate with that song comes from, so...
I get it. I get it. I think people... because the only part was like, you're a gift, right? And it's like, oh my God, I'm not a gift. Like, I mean...
Was that the only part that people were upset about?
That's the only part it's like the possessiveness. And I'm like,
I thought it was just more like being like that teenage hormonal, just like being obsessed with women, but like... I don't know.
I know there's maybe I have to go back.
I might have to go back either.
People listen to us right now that they would yell at me anywhere. But I'm pretty sure it was one of the lyrics at the beginning. It's like, it's a possessiveness. Like, you're a something. And they're like, oh my God. A lot of people freaked out about that. And I was like, I mean, y'all listen to worse stuff.
I was going to say, and I've said that before. I'm like, have you listened to like half my playlist that's not K-pop?
I was gonna say, yeah, right, exactly.
Even some K-pop songs nowadays, it's kind of like...
Exactly. Anything. The forbidden one that we will not name, who does R&B and has his own company, definitely has a lot of songs before he started causing all these problems, and I, liked him.
We treating him like Voldemort, the he who shall not be named.
Who should not be named. The appropriator. All those hip-hop R&B, whether it's Korean hip-hop and R&B or American hip-hop and R&B or even English hip-hop R&B, we all know what y'all saying.
Right.
Daddy Yankee, you want to bring in the Latin Americans too, or Latin American? Well, he's Puerto Rican. Latin Americans. Oh, we know what you're saying.
Trust me, it took a while to really realize what Gasoline was talking about, okay?
Thank you. And
but I still turn up every time I hear that.
Like, we know. Yeah, we know. And y'all out there listening, throwing it back to all those songs. So just calm down.
Right. Great.
But this was fun.
Yes. Anything else that we want to ramble on about before we go?
I think we got it. I'm sure you will continue to list grievances and loves in part 2.
Right. Hopefully there is a part 2, but I'll make sure there is a part 2. So the concert was great. It was great seeing them again, even though I was high up. I was still there. I got to experience it. It's fine. I will manifest, pray for it, especially if they come to Florida. I will get those floor seats and see. But that was another thing I was thinking about. Like, I want floor, but I don't know if I want to be close enough to if any of them can see me, because
I want them now.
Well,
we doing it.
Okay. I was gonna say, because like, of course I will record some things, but like, I like going to concerts to dance. So like, I kind of feel like especially if my song comes on and if any of them kind of see me dancing and acknowledge me, I might kind of just dig a hole right where I'm standing and just be fine
for it. Like I said, I have touched hands with ATs. I have screamed big titties at Eric. The only other concert I've been to that I haven't been able to make, I was on the floor, but they weren't able to see me, was NCT. If I get floor at BTS and close enough to where if I'm dancing like a lunatic and they point me out, I will live for it. I will live.
I mean, I'll live for it and like get embarrassed, but like, no, I don't know.
Not at all.
I'm just such a shy person.
Nah, not for them. No, not for them. I'll wild it out.
You bring in the sign twerk for BTS? Is that what you're doing?
Oh, yes. If I can bring that in. Look, the girl who got the wow with J-Hope in the center got noticed. Got another meme made out for J-Hope because of her sign. If I can create a meme, or if I can be noticed, remembered, whatever.
Oh, that's what we forgot to mention that I forgot to bring up when I said not everyone was showing their mask. I keep saying this, but just real quick, because they did also something different. I guess because they haven't seen Army in a while, there were times where, like, especially towards the end, they would actually show the crowd, so we would see like people's signs if they were dressed up, things like that. And I know especially on day 4, there was a couple people that I saw they showed on the big screen not wearing their mask, and I was like, hold up now.
Put that thing back on. We protect our boys. I will say, and another side note, we're going to do this until like another hour goes by.
Oh my God, this cannot be a 3-hour podcast. My laptop cannot handle it.
Shout outs to the Army who was wearing a whole wedding dress day 4.
What? I did not see that.
I don't know if it's the same girl from MetLife, because there was a MetLife girl wearing a whole wedding prom dress, whatever, high heels. I don't know how your feet, maybe she showed up an hour before the concert, because if she was there at 7:30 wearing that, nah, like, shout out to you.
That's another thing I felt like out of place with, like, when I was with Precious and Zaria, especially for day 3. Day 2, not as much, but they like dressed up. So they were like in dresses, like bodycon type dresses, heels. And then there's me in like jeans, a t-shirt with BTS, and then my like Koya headband.
No,
and like
I'm there to be comfy.
Right. I don't know.
I'm not meeting them. If I was meeting them, maybe. But I'm not. I'm out there. I'm in freaking section 400. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna see me. They're not gonna see me. Why am I wearing heels?
I don't know where the picture is, if the girl picture, but a girl was walking around and had like RJ, and like she took a picture of us. And at first, like when she gave the little RJ to Zaria, I kind of stepped back because I was like, oh, they're dressed up more than me. And they're like, oh no, you too, like joined in the picture. I'm like, do you see how out of like place I look next to my friends? Yep. Precious was getting all the compliments. Every time someone walked by us, they were like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, you're so gorgeous, which she is. But I was kind of like, God, I'm here in the shadows. What up, y'all?
Don't look at me. Yeah, no, the only thing I knew people were complimenting were my hair.
I still look cute, but like I wasn't decked out like they were, so.
I came there to buy merch. I am wearing the merch that I bought. That's what I did. I bought the shirt, I wore it, and that was it. If I had gotten my crop top hoodie, on the other hand, like I had prepared for, then maybe I would talk. But I'm not. That's going to make me upset.
I didn't get anything. I wasn't able to buy anything. I can't even buy anything on Weverse now. I don't think they'll ever restock. I don't know if they will, so.
I don't know. Hey, they did restock the book. I was able to get the book, so who knows? Maybe.
That's true. And a lot of the Map of the Soul stuff is still there, I think, so we'll see.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Whatever.
We'll see, yeah.
SoFi, that's all on you. Whatever.
Oh, God. Never SoFi again.
No. If they have it at SoFi, I'm not. I will go to any other venue in California except for SoFi. So. Take it from us, if y'all listen to these, to see the ratings of what we felt. Do not go back to SoFi, please.
But it's probably like the biggest stadium they're able to do and hold that much people. So if they come back, they obviously will probably go to SoFi.
Was it the Rose Bowl that was last time?
Yeah, for the Speak Yourself, they went to Rose Bowl.
Go back to Rose Bowl. Hold it there for 3 days if you have to. Just don't go back to SoFi.
I don't know. We'll see what 2022 brings us, because after the concert, which I didn't know this as well, because I had no signal. Apparently that's when they announced their concert for Soul in March. I know, like we said earlier about the new variant, so we will see how that upholds. But I'm hoping we all get our act together. Yes. And they can perform in their hometowns. I know they want to really badly, and then we'll see where the rest of the hopeful new tour comes to. So I'm making sure I'm saving up for that.
Oh yes. Well, I think we'll be able to base it off of how Twice does, because Twice is also selling out here. And fingers crossed, if they're able to hold it, then that's a smaller kind of outlook to see how it'll go. Same thing with AT's. Fingers crossed. Right now there's a lot of changes being made to a lot of like the fan meets and stuff, and I'm like, I'm side-eyeing all of those, like, oh my God, please don't be a small window to see how the actual concert will be for ATs. Don't cancel it, please.
Right. But for both of us, I am praying for sound check.
Yes. How in the world we get those, I still don't know, but we're gonna try.
We're gonna try. Maybe we should get another like group of us maybe to have a higher chance if someone's luckier. Because all my ticketing processes, it's just been me that I've been doing them with. So like, we'll see. I don't know.
Than me, so you have better luck than me for this one.
I have some luck, but not the luck I want. If that makes sense.
We can't pick and choose our luck.
We can't pick and choose our luck. I'm like the medium when it comes to luck. So yes,
I had some for Map of the Soul, and then apparently I used all my luck and had none for Permission to Dance. So
we're gonna see for 2022.
BTS is not working. Yes,
apparently this was supposed to be my year, but it wasn't. So we'll see for the big when I turn quarter of a century.
You just said the famous last words. What? Gonna be my, that word. I'm not gonna say because I'm not gonna do it to myself. Doing it. I did that 2019 because, 2020 was supposed to be 10-year graduating from high school, doing all this big stuff, and it ended up going down the trash. I'm not doing that. I'm not hyping it up. Once the year starts, then maybe.
Well, like, now you got me all nervous because I'm here hyping it up, and then you're like, I'm not doing it. I was like, okay, well, maybe I should backtrack everything I just said.
We have the Omicron virus out there now. I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
We'll just see. It's just so unpredictable now at this point. So, God, we've been here forever. We keep saying that.
We'll let y'all go.
Let's finally go, because now we're just getting into the tangent of rambles. So, after everything, the concert themselves was great. They all look super fun. Yes. We're not talking about what happened in the car and our discussions going to your hotel, because that is like Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But
we're not doing that. No.
It was great. I loved seeing all of them. Like I said, I didn't know if I'd be able to handle beefy BTS, and I wasn't, but I still had fun. Stop laughing, because every time I say the word, everyone starts laughing, but it's true. Okay?
That worked out, that's for sure.
Oh my God. Yo, because if one of them starts turning into a Wonho Instagram account, I might... I
might have to make another Instagram account just so I can get notifications for that Instagram.
But see,
I have Wonho's notifications.
But see, if you ever just want to see theirs, I follow them on our podcast Instagram. I do.
That's how I get some of the notifications.
There you go.
Like, I get RM and Tay on my own, and then for the podcast Instagram, I get, I think, some of the other ones. So, I got you. I have multiple ways.
Multiple ways. Well, yeah, we'll see what the rest of the year and the future holds for future concerts, not of just BTS, but just in general. Yeah. Mostly for BTS.
One for Eric. We're both going to that one too.
That's true. We can also...
Shout outs to Eric. So
yes, shout out to Eric.
But you guys have a safe, healthy, warm, because for some reason Florida decided to want to freeze this today.
It's supposed to be like 80s on Christmas. It's fine.
That's true. Holiday season. Happy holidays. And,
even though this is coming out after the holidays, but still, I hope you had a good holidays.
Preemptively throwing it out. The energy is out there now.
Yes. Good years and all that.
Yes.
And on that note, we will finally close it out. Thank you for listening to this probably longest, extremely long. I don't know why would me and Briana get together. We just talk.
We have too much fun.
We do.
We'll put that in the comments that this is going to be mad long, so listen to it over a period of a few days.
But thank you for listening to us ramble and fangirl. If you want to listen to any more episodes, they're all on any streaming platform that you can listen to podcasts. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at iwasthinkingpod. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you were at the concert and want to tell us your experience, I would actually really like to hear that. You can email us at iwasthinkingpod@gmail.com. So thank you, and hopefully I will see you in part 2 of this one, but if not, you'll hear my voice in other episodes. So it's fine. All right. Have a good day, you guys, or night, whenever you're listening to this. Okay, bye now.
내 물고기는 어디 갔나 동해 바다 서해 바다 내 물고기는 어디 있을까 참치면 어떠하리 광어면 어떠하리 삼치면 어떠하리 상어면 어떠하리 내 낚싯대를 물어주오 그때 마침 잠시 내게 형형 나가